Martinez. She'll take it all the way, lay it up and in. Big alley.
The following is a production by the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.
Swing and a miss. Ruck him out.
Let me ask you something. How bad do you really want to win? Do you see it in your dreams? Do you want it as bad as those who came before you? Everybody says they are winners until they get a taste of what it takes to be one.
He'll slam it home.
When adversity hits, when pain and uncertainty creeps in, how will you respond? So let me ask you again, how bad do you want to win? Well, we're here to find out.
Hello everybody, welcome out to the Wildcat Gymnasium in Littlefield, Texas, as we have the Region 1 Class 5A Regional Quarterfinals as the Monterey Lady Plainsmen take on the Amarillo High Lady Sandies. Devin Ward here alongside Carson Ward, getting ready for this big broadcast brought to you by the students and staff of Lubbock ISD TV. Carson, it's the second go-around for these two teams to play. Of course, they played back in December on the 9th. It was 63-54 was that final score. Monterey picking the dub, but it's so hard to beat a good team once, harder to beat them a second time.
Oh, of course. And I really think that Monterey is going to have to get in the hands of their big playmakers. You know, Mackenzie Smith, one of their best scorers, if not their best scorer on the entire team. They're going to have to get the ball into her hands as many times as possible because last game she got 28 points. And she's going to be needed to be doing the same thing against Monterey to be able to beat this team.
Of course, Mackenzie Smith playing for the Amarillo High Sandies. For the Monterey Lady Plainsmen, the coach wants to see more of Kelly Mora, the Texas Tech signee, playing in the post position, number 30. That's a name you need to know coming into tonight. She's a walking double-double. She averages north of 10 points per game, more than 10 rebounds per game, and she needs to have a pivotal role. She only scored 5 points in their last contest, and coach is looking more from her tonight.
Of course. I mean, she played a phenomenal defensive game, had 11 total rebounds, but 5 points just for her, that's you know she's not accepting that. So, you know, we really want to see her get the ball into her hands more and be able to score because she is one of the focal points of this offense alongside Aaliyah Chavez.
Talking about focal points, this man right here caught up with Coach Jill Schneider moments ago. Here's what she had to say on her keys to victory for tonight.
All right, Coach. It's really hard to beat a good team once, but it's even harder to beat a good team twice. How do you plan to do that tonight?
Well, we just got to come out and play basketball and do the best we can to defend. Amarillo has a very strong team and execute very well offensively and defensively, and I just think we got to be ready to go. It's going to boil down to who defends better, who rebounds better, and who hits more shots, just like every game does, but they're a quality team.
What are your keys to victory tonight?
Well, what I just said, I think winning the battle on the boards and defending as well as we can. And certainly we got to hit a high percentage of our shots because we know Amarillo's got great shooters too. So hopefully this is going to be a great game and all that it's been hyped to be.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks so much to Coach Jill Schneider for her time and being willing to talk to us pregame. Of course, we went to practice yesterday, and without a doubt, when you look at this game, it's probably one of the biggest games in the state. Number 1, Monterey versus number 7, Amarillo High. It's the rematch. It's the most talked about game here on the South Plains and really in the great state of Texas. And we can't wait to bring it to you when we come back from this quick commercial break. We'll have your starting lineups live from Littlefield on YouTube. Lubbock ISD. Stay with us. We'll be back with more. Back here at Wildcat Gym here at Littlefield High School. You can kind of tell from that camera point of view right there, Carson, the electricity's here. It is standing room only as there is a high anticipation for tonight's contest.
Of course, there's absolutely no seats available. Everyone that's coming in late has to stand. That just tells you the anticipation and the amount of hype around this game.
Absolutely, and when we got here about an hour before tip-off, this gym was about halfway full, and that tells you once again how big of this is tonight. And so we're getting ready for our starting lineups being announced here by a PA address announcer. And we'll go ahead and get into our starting lineups here on YouTube. I'm excited to be on YouTube here tonight. Here's your starting lineups. So we're going to start with the Monterey Lady Plainsmen, starting at point guard, 5'9" sophomore, number 2, Aaliyah Chavez. Starting at guard, 5'6" senior, Heaven Lamone. Starting at guard, a freshman, a 5'5", number 10, Ambrosia Cole. Starting at shooting forward, a 5'10" senior, Jalen Morrison. And then starting at post for Monterey, a 6' senior, number 30, Kelly Mora. For Amarillo, the Lady Sandies, it's going to be number 3, Jada Graves. She's a junior. Another junior, Tatum Bell, wearing number 12. Senior, Lacey Rice, rocking 23. Senior, Victoria Barrera, number 24, and then another senior, Mackenzie Smith, number 25. I believe Lacey Rice was a junior, but there's your starting lineups here in Littlefield. Carson, monstrous game here. It's the Region 1 regional quarterfinals as Monterey hosts Amarillo here in Littlefield, and I couldn't be more excited to be on the call here with you tonight.
Well, and I can't be more excited to be here as well. This is going to be a really electric game, and I can't wait to see how both offenses and defenses play out.
So let's
you go first. All right. Last game, both defenses showed up. Kelly Moore held to 5 points. I think this is going to be more of an offensive battle tonight.
Well, how has Amarillo been since that last game, right? Because Monterey won that 63-54. Well, Amarillo, the Lady Sandies, have gone 17-2 and have been nearly as dominant with 2 playoff wins as the Lady Plainsmen. Amarillo High rolled all the way to the state semifinals last season, and with the experience that they brought back, that's their goal, is to make it back to the state tournament.
Yeah, and that's every team's goal, but whenever you're able to repeat like that, that tells you that you still got a lot of effort and a lot of chemistry on your team, and not only that, but experience. And that's really what you want in high school basketball, and pretty much in every high school sport is experience.
Absolutely. Head coach of the Amarillo Lady Sandies is Jeff Williams, and for the Monterey Lady Plainsmen in her 25th season is Jill Rankin-Schneider. Of course, both coaches, tons of experience, really respected across the South Plains. And right now, we're getting ready for the national anthem, and so we're going to mute our mics and honor our country right now. Anticipation for this rematch, and let's talk specifically on the Amarillo Sandies side of things. There's so much anticipation, specifically for the fans and for Coach Williams, and he loves that. He loves where his program is, the type of basketball that they play, and how well the team has positioned themselves to get to this point. He told us it was super special, and Coach credits their success comes directly not from him, not from the assistant coaches, but the players. And the dedication to their craft and the willingness for the Lady Sandies to put the team first is why they're having success that they're having. And you love that he's a player's coach, right? And he gives credit where credit's due, and it goes to his team.
Well, we always hear the saying it starts from the top down, but there's also oftentimes when it has to start from your players. Your players have to be able to build leadership by themselves, and that's where he's getting at by saying that he is proud of where his team stands.
And the ball will go to Monterey to start the regional quarterfinals here at Littlefield. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel. Tipped out of bounds there by Tatum Bell. The Rock is going to stay with Monterey.
Leah Chavez going to be passing it in.
Yeah, and she is one of the top players in her class of 2025, feeding it down low to Mora. That's something they want to do early and often tonight, and it was blocked.
We all know that Amarillo is great in the paint, so Monterey's really going to have to play around that and maybe take up some short jumpers.
Here's Mora battling, kicking it out. Great ball movement here to get things started for Monterey. Ambrosia Cole, fade away, good! The freshman has been spectacular in her debut.
They pass down the court, and wide open layup for Amarillo.
Yeah, a quick bucket there for Mackenzie Smith. That's a name you need to know tonight if you're a fan of Monterey. She is a focal point for the Monterey defense. A three ball from the baseline, too hard, and off the hands of Mora, and back come the Lady Sandies. It's a lot. An open three, too strong. Another air ball, back-to-back air balls from these offenses.
Now they start seeing Amarillo slow down the game a little bit. They want to be able to build their game plan, so they're able to maybe get an open look.
And stolen away by Chavez. She's good in these moments. Pops, locks, and sets the deep two. Aaliyah Chavez with her first bucket, averaging 31 points a game, and we're expecting to call her name a lot.
Of course, she had 34 points last game, and I don't think she's going to shy of that today.
Yeah, you know, in the big moments, it's when the superstars shine, and they're looking to see who shine tonight. As you can hear, probably through your screen tonight, it is packed. The energy level is here, and you love to see it for high school basketball as we are getting deeper and deeper into the postseason.
Well, and as you keep going deeper and deeper in the postseason, the energy level rises every single match.
Absolutely. Mora on an open three from the baseline. Ooh, off the iron. There's the whistle's blown. The ball's going to go towards Monterey. Of course, Chavez, I said, averaging 31 points per game, also averaging 7.5 rebounds, 5.3 assists, and 3.2 steals per game. She is a game changer, and so is Ambrosia Cole as she drives, and rebound goes Samora. A big focus for Monterey as there's a turnover there is the offensive rebounds. They got one there, but it led to a quick turnover as Mora tried to get it back out.
Yeah, and those offensive rebounds are going to be key for any offense because that's what really gives them the second chance opportunities.
Free ball too strong for Mackenzie Smith. The board goes to Chavez. As she's surveying the defense. She's phenomenal at creating lanes and creating opportunities for her teammates. And that's something they want. They want to be balanced tonight as Mora spins to the cup and finishes strong. Kelly Mora with two.
And that's something that she's going to have to be doing all game. Last matchup, she was held to 5 points. We've said it 3 times already, but you can't say it enough. Amarillo did such a good job isolating her, but now they're going to have to realize that they have to isolate so many different players on this Monterey offense.
Yeah, all 5 of them are certified buckets. As that one was too strong. Rebound whipped to the Lady Sandies, and that's 2 points for Mackenzie Smith. She's now at 4. Here's Ambrosia Cole. Great move.
And one.
And a great basket. Everybody in the gym's on their feet for the freshman Ambrosia Cole.
You love when she shows her displays of toughness as she drives toward the rim.
Yeah, Ambrosia Cole, 5'5", but playing like she's 6'5". And speaking of some height, checking in for Monterey is Ari Johnson. She's a 6'3" freshman. And going to their practice yesterday, Carson, they're looking to feature her a lot tonight in the offense. She's more of the 6th person for them.
Of course. And she's one of those bench players that, I mean, and I hate saying bench players because they're all superstars, but she's one of those that is like, in a sense, like Aaliyah Chavez, where she can create lanes, where she can make open shots. And they really need that off the bench because they're not going to be able to rely on their starters every minute of the game.
Absolutely, and that 6th player is so important. You see here, the ball went out of bounds off of Chavez's hand, and it's going to stay here with the Sandies. And you know what? Iron sharpens iron, right? When you're playing against, you know, Kelly Mora and Aaliyah Chavez every day, everybody around you is going to get better. And we're seeing that with this team as they've grown throughout this year. They're currently ranked #1 in the state, and they're ranked 23rd in the nation for all girls basketball, and that tells you how good Monterey is. Now, on the other side, we got to rave about Amarillo as well. This Sandies team's ranked 7th. The last time they played, they were ranked 2nd. And so that's why this anticipation for this matchup was so high. It's because the talent on both these teams, there is not a weak link on either one of these rosters.
Right, and as we get deeper into seasons, the better teams grow their chemistry. And both of these teams have done a phenomenal job of doing that.
Great defense there by Mora to get back out there onto that baseline. She's going to have a busy role tonight with this style of offense. They love to cut, they love to slash, and they love to get open looks near the basket. And that was a big focal point for Monterey in practice yesterday. Don't allow them near the basket, and you're seeing them have success so far, limiting them to 4 points here in this first quarter. Quickly moving the ball around, and the more they pass the ball around, the louder the fans are getting. She lost control there. Ari Johnson locking her down.
I have no clue how she got that ball back in bounds.
No, me either. Coach Jeff Williams calling out a play for his team. And a lot of screens, a lot of off-ball screens to set up a cut for either team.
They're just trying to find that open look, and Monterey playing some phenomenal defense right now. You can't say it enough.
Yeah, there's no shot clock in high school basketball, and stolen away. Battling for it and needing some help. Great stuff there by Jalen Morrison. Ambrosia Cole on the other end. Yes, ma'am. She's now at 6. What a start for the freshman, stepping up on this big stage.
Well, and she's doing exactly what Joe Snyder wanted them to do. Coach Joe Snyder wants them to take jump shots rather than fighting in the paint, because Amarillo is so good at taking charges, and she's been doing that already early in this game.
Chavez getting shifty, getting it to Morrison, down low to Ari Johnson, almost stolen away. Cole with the ball again. And that's going to be a charge. That's what they're so good at. Carson talked about it, and that's what they did. You see it here on the instant replay. Go for it, Kay Ward.
Well, it's really hard to kind of teach charges. It's just kind of instinct in a game standpoint. And whenever you're able to just remember, hey, I need to take it, that's really kind of what gets momentum shifting a little bit, no matter what the score is.
Absolutely. Defense. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. And you're seeing this Amarillo team bought into that. They love to take charges and limit points in the paint. They want you to take a low percentage shot as they dish it down to the paint, and stolen away by Kelly Mora. She needs to have a big game, and she's showing up.
Like we said last game, she had a great defensive game.
Great pass to Morrison. Little too hard. She gets her own rebound, puts it up. She's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Jalen Morrison had a monster game in the previous round, and that confidence carries over often for these teams. I believe she was in double digits, right, Carson?
Yes, sir. She had 18 points. She had 3 rebounds, 3 assists, but the big thing is 5 steals.
Absolutely.
5 steals, that's what gives your team more opportunities. And that's what really both these teams need to be able to do, is create opportunities. Opportunities are not just given, they're earned.
Absolutely. She misses her first free throw chance here. See if she can knock down the second one. See Coach Williams talking to the official here on this close side. Knocks down the second. That's her first points of the contest. Now 11-4 here with 2 minutes to go in this sold-out, standing-room only gym here in Littlefield. And they were expecting this. I was expecting this. And we're tuning in for a great game tonight. Johnson trying to get the block, too strong. And it's going to be Chavez with the rebound. Looking to go coast to coast. Going step back, Jimmy Jack. Great pump, great finish. Aaliyah Chavez with 4 points.
And that's what she's so good at. Her moves and her shiftiness really creates space for herself, but not only for herself, but for her teammates as well. Right there, she uses it to get closer to the rim and finish the layup.
There's no way I could guard her one-on-one, and it's a tough challenge for anybody, that's for sure. And that's why she's the top point guard in her class.
Oh, I would easily get my ankles broken.
Trying to finish underneath the basket, fouled on the play. Mackenzie Smith was fouled by Kelly Mora. It's her first foul of the game. You see here on the instant replay. I think Mora thought it was going to go out of bounds there, Carson, and so she kind of took a step back. First free throw gets the friendly roll for Mackenzie Smith. She's now at 5 points in the contest. This is a big name for Amarillo, right? You talked about it in the pregame. She needs to have a big night if the Sandies want to have success.
Well, and she's had a big game the past couple of games, and not even that, but the entire season. Their season has really revolved around her getting high-point games.
Chavez shooting the 3, goes off the top of the backboard, and they're going to give the ball to the Sandstorm. See that on their jerseys. I've always called them the Lady Sandies, but I kind of like the Sandstorm.
You know, it's just a little bit different, you know, a little spice, a little flair.
Like it. All right, Chavez looking to lock her down at the half-court line. You love to see the intensity, and you see the focus from both of these teams. They know what this means. Win, keep going, lose, go home. And so they're pushing all the chips out front tonight.
Well, and whenever you see the intensity, that means you need, like, not necessarily need, but you want a half-court press. You want to be able to pressure them as soon as they get across that line.
A pump right there, and a great pullback for Bell. And she's trying to drive past Chavez. Oh, great take to the basket, just hit off the bottom of the rim, and it was rejected by that. Ambrosia Cole, step back. That was about a 10-foot jumper right there, and it was too strong.
It's too strong because she had a little bit too much momentum going her way.
One thing that both of these teams like to do, they like to set the tone. They like to set the pace of this game. And so if you feel like you're watching on TV and they're moving pretty quick, it's on purpose.
Yeah, for sure. They're both high-scoring, high-paced offenses. And whenever they slow the game down, it's not necessarily their rhythm.
Great defense, but even better finish by Mackenzie Smith. She's now at 8 points, and there's a timeout on the floor. Current update on who's doing what. It has been all Mackenzie Smith for Amarillo. She has tallied all 8 points for Amarillo. On the other side for Monterey, Lilia Chavez has 4 points. Jalen Morrison has 1. Kelly Mora has 2. But it is Ambrosia Cole, the 5'5" freshman that has really shined so far in the first quarter. She has 6 points. Of course, you know, both teams have been battle tested to get to this point. Specifically for Monterey, the last round of the playoffs, for them, they went toe-to-toe with El Paso Burgess. In fact, the Mustangs from Burgess had a lead into the second quarter. That's when veteran coach Jill Schneider lit a fire in the team, and that's when the message was well received, because after that, they left Burgess in the dust. They defeated the Mustangs 96-50 in the area round. You love to see that a team can just turn it on like that at any moment.
Well, and whenever you're playing with that intensity, you got to remind yourself, you've been playing with that intensity all year long. And when you finally see it start coming together in the postseason, it gets your energy, it gets your poise and your confidence level way higher than it originally was.
Absolutely. I want to thank everybody for tuning into this broadcast as we get ready for the second quarter. It's 13-8. Monterey on top. See some lockdown defense here from Morrison. You see all these shifts. Great stuff by Kelly Mora. What they practice is translating to the game. They're wanting to deny the middle part of the paint, Carson. Ooh, and Ari Johnson, a freshman, going to battle down low. Too strong. She's grown more and more confident as this season's grown along. And she's a dual sport athlete, and she has tons of potential. Only a freshman, standing at 6'3".
You know, she reminds me of Leah Chavez, because Leah Chavez had such a great year as a freshman. She's doing the exact same thing. Great year as a freshman. She has a really, really bright future in front of her.
Absolutely. She averages 6 points, 5 rebounds a game, and that's coming off the bench, being the pivotal 6th man on the Monterey roster. Feeding it down low, there was one of the slash cuts. Trying to kick it back out to a wide open 3. Too strong, and Monterey battling for the boards. Great stuff there by Morrison.
Here's Monterey going fast-paced again.
Back shoulder there to Mora, too strong. Kelly battling, getting that offensive rebound, and the putback and in.
Wow.
And 1 for Kelly Mora.
I think she just got 2 rebounds right there.
Multiple, you lose count after a while, but great dish by Ari Johnson to see the wide open Kelly Mora. Yeah, there's multiple rebounds there by the senior, the Texas Tech commit. The free throw, off. She's at 4 points. You got to get back in transition here if you're Monterey defense, and Amarillo about to expose it. Foul on the play. That's Mora's second foul. And who else is going to the charity stripe? Mackenzie Smith. She has scored all 8 points tonight for the Sandies, and she's got an opportunity to put 2 more up here. This is her.
She did not get the friendly roll that time.
Okay, sorry, I was looking down trying to mark my stats. I'm glad you called that. And she didn't get the second one to fall either. She's now 2 for 4 from the charity stripe. You know, Chavez calls for a lot of respect if they're double teaming her. Morrison for 3. Too strong. Rebound, Mora, put back, almost in. Offensive rebounds have been stellar tonight for Monterey, and that's been a big difference here so far.
Of course. And back to what you were saying about Leah Chavez, I think she's starting to realize that she's going to have to get the ball to her teammates more and more often, because the defenses are starting to isolate her. So she's going to really have to try to get the ball to Kelly Mora, to Jalen Morrison, Ambrosia Cole, her other playmakers and her other superstar teammates, so then they can make some plays, so that way she can free up some stress on her shoulders.
Mora kissing it off the glass for 2. Kelly Mora with 6 points. That's what you like to see. She had 5 total in their previous matchup. Drive to the paint, too strong. Nothing's dropping right now for the Sandstorm. Back in transition is Chavez. Euro stepping her way to the cup.
Beautiful finish.
It's gonna go against Chavez though. So great defense there, committing a charge. And there's the Sandstorm doing what they do best.
And that's the Sandstorm's second charge committed. Or not committed, but like given, I guess.
The 3rd foul for Monterey. See there on the instant replay.
When you gotta love, that's what Coach Jeff Williams really teaches his girls, like I said earlier, but you know, it's also something that you don't think about very often in a game. It's just something that you do.
Right.
It's an instinct move.
And it's something ingrained in you from day one in practice. Defense, defense, defense.
There's no drill that tells you, hey, I need to screen at this point. It's just, hey, when should I screen?
All right, so Sandy's back on offense, doing a bunch of their cuts and screens, and Monterey is not allowing anything.
No, I love the defense Monterey is playing right now.
Yeah, great mismatch down low. Trying to shoot it and too strong. Mora is standing tall underneath that basket. Quick in transition is Ambrosia Cole, and she's gonna slow it down. To Chavez, for 3. Oh, in and out. Rebound, Ari Johnson. And it's 2 Lady Plainsmen fighting for the ball right there.
Now Monterey has a chance to reset a little bit.
Morrison for 3. Back iron, no good. Once again, they're quick in transition. Wide open 3 for the Sandies.
Bang!
Ripped it. Knocking that one down was Peyton Daniels. Daniels, the first Sandy not named Mackenzie Smith to tally some points on the scoreboard.
And that's what the Sandstorm's gonna have to really do. They're gonna have to get the ball into other hands.
Ambrosia Cole, too strong. Rebound goes to Amarillo High. It's a 2-on-1. Great defense there, but strong finish for Amarillo. And that's Jada Graves putting it in for 2. Timeout. Coach Jill Schneider, it's gonna be a 30-second timeout. That was fast-paced, really quick. And Coach Schneider didn't like what she saw there from her team.
Well, and that's how both these teams like to play. They like to play fast-paced, but that's the point of fast-paced, is to shift momentum. And we just saw that Amarillo got 5 consecutive points, and now their momentum is starting to sway to their side a little bit.
Right. You know, this season, when you watch Monterey, they are talented across the board. They're elite at shooting threes. They're elite at driving into the basket. And Coach calls that diversifying, because you don't want to be easy to guard. If you think they're a 3-point shooting team, that's when you start driving. And so that's what you're going to notice tonight from Monterey, is that they're going to try to diversify their offense. They're not going to be a one-trick pony. They're going to want to do everything they can to do great things on the offensive end.
Of course.
All right, 30 seconds went by pretty quick. Of course, we want to let everybody know to subscribe to the YouTube channel and comment on here. Let's boost the stream. Let's get as many people tuning in tonight as we possibly can to see this huge matchup between number 1 Monterey and number 7 Amarillo High. Of course, this game is being presented by Lubbock ICTV. Chavez too strong for 3, and the rebound goes towards the Sandies. The fans thinking they missed a call there.
Leah Chavez tipped that pass, but it still went right into the hands of the Sandies.
So they're going to reset their offense. Coach Williams calling out a play. There's a screen, getting close to the basket. Morrison tipped that away and stolen away.
That was a great save right there.
Yeah, Heaven Lamone was the one that came up with it. Morrison dishing it down low to Ari Johnson, and that's what you want to see. Those are some high percentage shots. It didn't fall that time, but Ari Johnson's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
And these are the opportunities that both teams have to take advantage of. These are 2 easy buckets that they can get at the charity stripe, but you have to lock in, you have to focus. These are 2 important shots, not just 2 gimmies.
Absolutely. Johnson towing the line. They wanted to feature her a lot in the pick and rolls tonight. And that was a great open look for her down in the paint. Got to be able to finish as she misses that first one. A freshman in these big moments doesn't get much bigger than this in the high school basketball. The playoffs, And she's stepping up, knocking down. That's her first point of the contest. The Sandies here, back on offense. I love watching Coach Williams here, Carson, because he is dialed in and he's calling plays out for his team.
He reminds me of a lot of...
Great floater there. That's an open look. 99% of the time, the Sandies knock that one down, just too strong.
And that's a big thing in basketball is the touch. You have to have a good touch around the rim.
Hip check there, and it's going to be a foul on Ambrosia call. The ball's going to go back to the Sandstorm. That's Colt's first foul. She's been red hot so far, Carson. She had a great first quarter, but they're focusing in on her on the defensive end.
Of course, but she's still going to find ways to get around the defenses to create her own opportunities.
They're driving to her, kicking it out behind the arc. Here's the reset for Amarillo.
No, but as you were saying, Coach Jeff Williams really reminds me of Mark Adams. He just sits there with his arms crossed, but he's thinking in his head. He is thinking, all right, what's the next game plan I can use? What's the next opportunity that I can take advantage of?
Lamone going one-on-one down low, trying to finish with the reverse layup. Johnson with the rebound. No, I like that. Basketball is a game of runs, obviously, but it's also about adjustments, making in-game adjustments. Step back, Jimmy Jack for Ambrosia. Oh, that's good for 2. She gets her first points in the second quarter. She's now at 8.
And she's had a phenomenal game so far. She's scoring over half of, or
close to
almost half of her team's points.
That's a big 3 ball there for Mackenzie Smith. Her first points in the second quarter. Timeout on the floor. Current score 20-16. Yeah, we'd love to get more people subscribing to our YouTube channel at Lubbock ISD. And we thank everybody for tuning into this broadcast. If you didn't know, this is a student-produced broadcast. We've got students on camera, our director of the game, and our audio engineer, and our replay students. And it's super special that we allow these opportunities, and it's all because of our school board and the amazing district allowing us to do this.
You love to see it because that's your goal as a teacher, right, Mr. Ward? You want our 30-minute broadcast. You want these broadcasts live to be student-produced, and the fact that it's starting to come together is really, it should be really a proud moment for you, isn't it?
I'm like a proud dad right now. You're absolutely right. All right, here's Chavez. That timeout is quickly over, and we're back to it. Cole driving and kicking it out to Lamone for 3. Too strong. We've said that a lot. Diving onto the floor. There you go. Who's it going to stay with? It's going to stay with Monterey. So how this gym is laid out, the side that we're on is all Monterey fans. The opposite side that you do see on your screen is Amarillo fans. And so I don't know if you could hear it on the microphones or not, Carson, but you can tell what side something happens. Turnovers. Quick play turnover here and trying to lay it up and in, and they will. Tatum Bell kisses it off the glass for 2. Those are her first points.
Just an easy fast break opportunity right there. She just had to make sure she outran the defenders, and she did.
Absolutely. Amarillo High going on a run here in the second quarter. The last time these two teams played is they're back on the ground, another jump ball. Possession arrow, Amarillo. The last time these two teams played, they were tied going into halftime, and it was Monterey that came out in the third quarter, outscoring them by 10. And from what it's looking like right now, we might have a tied ball game going into the break.
Well, of course, and both of these teams are making in-game adjustments, and I think that's more key than making halftime adjustments, because there's a lot of times when you're down by such a big deficit at halftime, your halftime adjustments aren't going to cut it. You're going to have to make in-game adjustments, and both of these teams are making them. Some shots are not falling.
Chavez going to the ground. She's had a kind of a hurt foot for quite some time. You see her favoring it a little bit. She's not 100%. You can kind of see her grimacing in pain a little bit, Carson.
I think she wanted to get away with I think she thought it was a trick right there.
You see Amarillo trying to attack her, and they drive to the cup. A baseline triple here. Too strong. Rebound Morrison. 9 seconds to go. Ambrosia Cole sees the time. She knows she's got to get something off here. Driving, Ari Johnson down low. Good! And that's going to do it for the first half as Ari Johnson gets the final points. It's going to be 22-18 as we head to the halftime break. Monterey on top of Amarillo High. Carson, thoughts on the first half?
I thought it was going to be a lot of offense, I'm going to be honest, I was wrong, Mr. Ward. A lot of defense, but it's like you said earlier, offense wins games, defense wins championships, and we're in the championship era right now.
Absolutely. We're in the regional quarterfinals, of course. This team will advance, whoever wins, to the regional semis, regional finals, and then after that, the state tournament. All right, we've got halftime coming your way. I believe we have a story that we're going to show you featuring one of our awesome things happening in Lubbock ISD. When we come back, we'll recap the first half and preview the second. Stay with us. We're live on YouTube from Wildcat Gym here in Littlefield, Texas.
Ready to open up their mics, Caleb? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Take it, open the mics, and go.
The history of LISD TV sports starts back in late 90s, and we had the idea of starting a sports program where we could highlight our student athletes as well as train our high school students in how to do sporting production. When we first started it, obviously it was pretty rudimentary. We didn't have the replay, we didn't have the graphics. We had some cameras that weren't really synced up together, where the colors were off and things like that. But over the 20 plus years, we've really progressed into, one of the top producers of high school sports.
So not only have we been able to expand with technology with our truck now, but we've also been able to expand our offerings to students and give them greater opportunities. And that's so awesome to see as a teacher. So I love the bus and I miss the bus, but it's been so awesome to see like the kids getting to work with newer technology. And honestly, the kids get to do more positions.
Our truck was built on the basis of an ESPN truck. A lot of us were in the original design had worked in an ESPN truck, so we had an isolated audio booth. We had areas where there would be the replays, the graphics, the producer-director area, all the cameras and things like that. So we wanted to set it up just like an ESPN truck.
So the way that the professional world works with production trucks, you're not working with the same crew on a consistent basis. It's a completely new truck most of the time. It's a completely new crew. And so you aren't going to have the familiarity that you can working with your peers in school. So they really need to kind of learn how to communicate with multiple people. So you really just need to know your strengths and your weaknesses and find others that you're going to be on that production truck with to really help you grow your knowledge and grow your experience so that you can then have a full, well-rounded knowledge of the entire process.
Caleb, there's trailing music on this.
Everybody says
Okay.
It's all about footwork, and in that particular moment, Kelly came out on top.
Another 3 for Monterey this time.
I can teach students the vocabulary words in class. I can teach them what to pan, tilt, whatever the case may be. I can teach them all that stuff. I can give them a book and have them read. But for me, when they get their hands on equipment and then when they actually practice those vocabulary words that we've seen, that's when the real learning sinks in.
When kids leave our program after they graduate, I want them to be able to walk out and get a job. That's the biggest thing. We're teaching them hands-on, actual real-world job skills. And so whether they want to go to college or not, whatever the path they choose, I want them to leave here with plenty of experience and knowledge that they can walk out and they could work for ESPN as an 18, 19-year-old if they wanted to. They're going to leave here, they're going to be a step above everyone else in the country that's their age.
Just off the top of my head, maybe 50 plus students that I know have worked in the industry at some point. So whether that's going and working as somebody pulling cable, rolling cable, running camera, or even some of our more recent students who are actually directors of now production in sporting events and things like that. So it's really pretty awesome to be able to see the fruits of our labor, because a lot of times as educators, we plant the seeds and we never really get to see what produces it. In our industry, we get the visual. We actually get to see the fruits of our labor on TV.
We're averaging 30.8 points per game.
So
Then you have number 40.
If you are a high school student or even younger than that, and you want to get involved with Lubbock ISD TV, we would love to have you. We've got plenty of opportunities and it's so much fun. Not only will it prepare you to go to work, we can prepare you to get scholarships, but we have fun while we're doing it.
If you're interested in being part of the sports production, contact your counselor. If you're a parent or if you're a student that is interested in being in sports production, this is the absolute best place to start.
a program we've been doing all around the elementary schools. Is every Wednesday, or in this case Tuesday, just because of how the week's working out, we are going to elementary schools and reading to kids. Good morning. I like your sweatshirt.
I think we've been to 3 or 4 other elementaries, so it's just good getting to meet the kids here and, you know, start building relationships early on.
What's your question?
What we really want to do is we want to reach out to them so that they can proceed into coming into Lubbock High and Hutch and Cavazos, all these other schools that are going to lead them to being great, better people in the future.
He knew he had to do something, and that's just what he did.
I feel like it's important, especially as a football program, because football is only 3 months out of the year. Everywhere else, at the end of the day, our job is academics. Our job is to graduate. Especially for these kids, it starts here. It doesn't start at the last 4 years of your public education. So I feel like it's really our job to help these kids succeed. And it's also important to show them what we stand for as Lubbock High. All right, so we're going to read about...
My favorite part, probably just getting to meet the little kids, honestly. There's so many, you know, different schools we've been to so far, and it's just cool to get to know, you know, each and every single one of them.
My favorite person in history, wow.
Going through all the grades, I think, is really important too. Just seeing how they've matured so much throughout, and just getting to meet them all is really, really great to me.
My favorite part about this is seeing the smiles on the kids' faces. I mean, when we come in, they're just so happy to see us. They don't ever want to see us leave, and I enjoy doing it. I mean, it brings pride to us, and it helps the Westerners grow. And at the end of the day, those little kids are happy, and that's what makes me happy.
The Mistletoe by Margie. It's really cool to just kind of go back and see what it was like in elementary. Sometimes I kind of get too caught up in everything right now with colleges and everything else, so it's really nice to just kind of relax and kind of talk to these kids, and you know, they're also role models for me and helping me be a better person.
Go Westerners.
Welcome back to Wildcat Gym here in Littlefield, Texas. The biggest game in the state's currently happening right now is number 1 Monterey taking on number 7 Amarillo High. Devin Ward here alongside Carson Ward. Carson, first of all, a student at Coronado, and he's killing it tonight. We could all give him some love in the comment section. We appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight on YouTube. The biggest game, I just said it, and we saw a fast, upbeat first half, current score 22-18, and we got some highlights for you, so let's check them out here. And in the first half, really, for Amarillo High, it was a one-person show, specifically in the first quarter, and that was Mackenzie Smith. She had, 7 points, 10 points total out of the 18, and she was big time, as you see here in the highlights, right, Carson?
Yes, sir. And my one takeaway is that she scored all of the 8 points in the first quarter for the Sandies, but they started finding ways to get balls to their other playmakers, and the other playmakers were getting the other 10 points.
Talk about other playmakers tonight. In the first quarter, Ambrosia Cole went off. She had 6 points, followed by 2 more in the second quarter. The 5'5" freshman stepping up and being a big-time playmaker like we all know she is. She has potential to not only play here at Monterey, but at the next level, like so many other players on this Monterey roster. You see here, it is slammed. Hey, I recognize them. That was Lorelei Schaefer there. I recognize a lot of these people here tonight. It is standing room only. If you look around the gym, Carson, there's people everywhere, and it's because, like I said, the biggest game in the state.
Of course, like we said earlier, this gym was full pretty much an hour before it started. It was halfway full. And when you have that many seats already taken that early before the game, it tells you how big this game really is. And both of these teams know it.
Monterey gets the ball first to start things in the second half. Before we get into the second half, Aaliyah Chavez had 4 points in the first half. She wants to get more as Ambrosia Cole shoots their first shot and is short. Cole had 8 points. Jalen Morrison had 1. Ari Johnson with 3. Kelly Mora, as they get a bucket there on the opposite end. Jada Graves putting it in for 2.
Just a great finish right there. She knew she was gonna have to take some contact, and she did.
Chavez hurt her foot earlier on in the year, missed the Lubbock Cooper game that they played. That was one of their losses. Of course, she was coming back from that injury when they played Amarillo High the first time. She wasn't 100%, and I don't think she is again, as she came up limping in that first half. Cole for 3. Too strong, but battling hard for the rebound. The Sandstorm are the ones that come up with it. Chavez slowing down the break, and Amarillo High is going to reset here.
Well, and that was one of my keys for Amarillo, was slowing Chavez down, because they know how electric she can be. But they were slowing her down even before she hurt her ankle.
So here are the Sandstorm here, looking around. Of course, that is Tatum Bell there with the rock, dishing it down low to Smith. Great pass, great finish. Mackenzie Smith gets her first points here in the second half.
And just like that, we have a tie ball game.
Absolutely. 22 all here in Littlefield in a slammed, jam-packed, a deep three. Chavez doesn't get it, but Mora does. She puts it in. Offensive rebound was one of the biggest keys for Coach Jill Schneider, and we're seeing it pay off here tonight.
Just like that, the second chance opportunities are what both teams need to take advantage of.
Backdoor cut there by Jada Graves. She has 4 here in the second half.
And she's making quick work of this Monterey defense
Absolutely.
early in this second half.
These slash cuts that they're doing, it's hard to defend. It takes a lot of communication. And in a gym like this where it's super loud, it's hard to hear your teammates communicating. Almost stolen away and stolen away. Here come the Sandstorm. It's a 3-on-1. Chavez slows them down, but a 3-ball for Amarillo High. Tatum Bell puts it in. That was a big 3. This is their first lead of the game tonight, 27-24.
And this is the benefit of playing a very fast-paced offense because, like I said earlier, the momentum shift starts to swing one side or another.
Trying to set a screen was Mora. Getting fouled over there in the corner with Chavez. Getting credit for that foul is going to be Victoria Barrera. It'll be her first foul of today. Here's the instant replay of it, of that fast break. Slowed down by Chavez, but pulled up and knocked down by Amarillo High's Tatum Bell.
Well, and when you're on a one-on-one like that, having your teammates come back to the court, you're going to have to make that decision, all right, am I going to pass it to the open man or am I going to take it myself? And she made the right call.
Yeah, confidence right there. Chavez for a deep 3. Off the iron, rebound Morrison, tipped away, and it's going to go towards Amarillo High. Morrison thought that was tipped away, and so did I. Coach Schneider looking to call a timeout, and she will. Amarillo High's come out guns a-blazing here in the second half.
And you can tell by just how loud these fans are right now.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm having to yell to you right now.
Yeah, me too. I feel like I'm having to yell as well. And you love the atmosphere, right? This is what high school basketball is all about, and you love to see the support for both of these teams coming out here tonight.
Oh, for sure. And that's what every high school athlete dreams of, is having this big crowd. They want to be able to shine in the big moments, and these young ladies right here are having that opportunity right now.
So what will happen for the winner of this game? The winner of tonight's contest will advance to the regional semifinals for Region 1, where they'll play either the Texans from Northwest High School or Mansfield Timberview, home of the Wolves. That game will be on Friday the 24th. They don't have a site for the contest yet, but tip-off would be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so whoever wins this contest, wash, rinse, repeat, another tough contest heading up for them.
Well, and we know this is a tough game for both teams right now, but from here on, it gets even tougher.
Absolutely.
These teams are going to have to find their inner self is the best way I can explain it, and really just fight through all the toughness that they're going to have to fight through.
Absolutely. This is where you dig deep. You give everything you have in these games, because like we've said multiple times, win, you keep going, lose, you're packing your locker and it's season over. And both of these teams have aspirations of making it to San Antonio. Smith kicking it out, driving and getting it back to Smith for 3 from the top of the key. Bang! Mackenzie Smith.
She has 5 this quarter.
Absolutely, she's been big time in the previous game that they played and tonight. Morrison tried to respond, doesn't get the roll. Rebound Amarillo High, 30-24. Quick transition 3 for the Sandies. Bang! Once again, Victoria Barrera gets a 3-ball, and the Sandy fans are on their feet. Coach Schneider wants another timeout. Holy smokes, the change of momentum from the end of the second quarter to now is tremendous. 33-24, biggest lead for Amarillo now.
And it's all about adjustments. The halftime adjustments were there for the Amarillo Sandies. Coach Jeff Williams knew that he had to make something happen, even though they were only down by 4 at half. They knew they needed to keep the momentum going that they created entering halftime, and they're doing just that.
Look at Coach Schneider there, coaching her team. Of course, been there for 25 seasons, and you see a 3-ball here from that top of the key. Can't leave any separation with either one of these teams, because both of these teams, they have no holes in their lineup. They have talent 1 through 5 out there on the court. And you see the look of the Monterey fans here, because the success that they've had this season, they haven't really had to, to step up to some adversity. So I'm excited to see. Now they have a few games, of course. They're 30-3 on the year, 11-1 in district play. But I'm anxious to see how you respond in this moment if you're Coach Jill Schneider in Monterey.
Well, and I think that's something that they're going to have to realize right now if they haven't already, because they've been taking care of pretty much every single game of their season thus far. And they really, like you said, they really haven't had to face much of a challenge. But they know from here on, it's going to be a challenge. Absolutely. And they know that they beat this team once already. This Amarillo Sandies team is out for blood right now.
Now, one positive if you're Monterey, you've been ranked #1 so long this season. The Chavez, the whistle blows, and it's going to be a foul on the Sandies. A positive, Carson, is that they've had the spotlight on them all season long, right? You're ranked #1. The gym has been consistently selling out, so you felt pressure before. This is not their first rodeo with that, and that's a positive.
Yeah, of course. They're used to playing in the pressure. It's just right now, they just have to focus on executing. They got to get the high percentage looks and be able to execute.
Almost a turnover there by Chavez. She's trying to dish it down, and there's the turnover. Stolen away and back in transition to Sandies. Great finish at the cup. Good for 2. Tatum Bell with 5 now here in the quarter.
And that's her 7th point on the game.
It's now 35-24, an 11-point lead for Amarillo High. What a run here for the Sandies. Ambrosia Cole trying to do what she's done today and get baskets. Morrison not able to finish. They're running into the problem that Amarillo had in the first half. They get the shots, they're not dropping.
Of course, and like I said, it's all about execution. They got to find their touch. They got to be able to know, okay, I'm 10 feet away from the basket. I need to put a little more arc on this ball, even though I have momentum going my way.
The Sandies are on a 17-2 run right now. At halftime, it was 18-22. That tells you how red hot the Sandies have been here to get things going in the third quarter. Shooting a short jumper and getting the bank, cashing it in for 2. That's going to be Lacey Rice getting her first points of the night.
And now you see Amarillo starting to spread the ball around a lot more. They're getting a lot more comfortable with everybody in their lineup. And that's really what they want to do. They don't want it just to be a one-man show, and they're proving that they can all work in sync right now.
Mora ends the drought for Monterey. She's the only one to put points on the board this quarter. What a run for Amarillo High. It's now 19-4 here in the third quarter, 37-26 overall. I don't know if Monterey was ready for that kind of run there from Amarillo. It's now time for them to respond.
Of course, and it's like I've been saying every single time I've been on this broadcast, I'm pretty sure, basketball's a game of runs. It's a game of momentum. You got to be able to get that one, that first, that second, that third bucket to get your momentum back so you can start getting 4th, 5th, and 6th buckets.
The domino effect is what Carson's talking about. Driving to the lane and too strong was Amarillo High, and there's a 4-on-5 run. Monterey needs to capitalize.
Now that 5th lady is back on the court.
Chavez, a deep 3. Too strong, and she's going to drop back into defensive coverage.
The 3 balls just have not been working for her tonight.
It's ever since they flipped the sides of the court, right?
I think so.
Foul on the play. It's going to go against Morrison. Jalen Morrison now. I want to say that's her first foul of the game.
That's what I have marked.
See here on the defensive side, getting a little too handsy there. The physicality starting to show it here in Littlefield.
And that could be a little bit of a frustration factor. You know, you're trying to be aggressive even though they're being aggressive to you. So it's kind of like a push and shove type match. No pun intended.
Right.
But you're trying to just match their aggressiveness is what I'm trying to say.
Trying to go fade away there. But she's going to go to the line to shoot 2. That foul's going to go on Aaliyah Chavez, her second. Tatum Bell about to go to the charity stripe. She's got 7 points so far. 5 of them coming in this quarter alone. She has been one of the many reasons why the Sandstorm have elevated their play and gotten this lead that they have. Misses the first opportunity.
When it goes back to what you were saying about Coach Jeff Williams earlier, it starts with the players. He said it. He said it starts with the players. And you always hear coaches say it starts from the top down, but you really need those leaders on your team. And Tatum Bell is really taking on that leader role in this second half.
Absolutely. Her and Mackenzie Smith are the leading scorers right now for the Sandstorm here in the third quarter. Johnson out on an island, not going to pull it up. The ball almost turned over there. Chavez deflecting her away. Over to Ambrosia Cole, driving to the cup, off the side of the backboard, and it's going to be a jump ball. Coach Schneider clapping her hands and seeing the tremendous effort there from the freshman Ari Johnson, but it's going to stay with the Sandies.
Now you see the full court press starting to come into play for Monterey.
There's the adjustments that we've talked about. You see Coach Schneider calling for it. Chavez double teaming, managing to go all the way to the opposite end and fouled by Chavez. That's her third foul, something to keep an eye on.
She has to get really careful right now. Is it 5 or 6 fouls that they foul out? 5. She's more than halfway there. She really needs to be able to be patient, not get so handsy, and just calm down.
Yeah, this is a tense moment, and you could feel the intensity here. First free throw, no good for Jada Graves. Graves, she battled her way through 2 defenders, Ambrosia Cole as well as Aaliyah Chavez, nearly took it the distance and laid it in there. Here's the second free throw.
It was good.
Rattles it home. She's at 5 in the quarter, 7 overall for the game. They've been pretty balanced. If you look at Amarillo, Carson, they have multiple players getting close to that double-digit milestone. And as Coach Williams, he loves to see that. Euro stepping, short. Chavez frustrated as that ball didn't drop. Quick in transition is Smith. Mora going one-on-one, and it's going to be a travel. Travel goes against Mackenzie Smith, and tip your cap to Kelly Mora right there, getting back in that transition defense, getting her hands up and causing that travel.
5 seconds left in this quarter. Let's see if Monterey can do something real quick.
You already know who's going to get it. Chavez, deep three. Bang! That was Carson right there, getting excited. Aaliyah Chavez is now at 7 points, 39-29. And if you're Monterey, you needed that. You needed that response, and they got it there from their superstar sophomore, Aaliyah Chavez.
Well, and you know that with how many threes she was taking throughout the game, they're going to start falling eventually. This very well could be the start of what really spurs an enormous fourth quarter for her, or fourth period, excuse me.
You're good. So in that quarter, Amarillo scores 21 points while Monterey scored 7. That could be a big difference in the outcome of this game. The last time these two teams played, Monterey was the one that had that run in the third quarter, but we're seeing the Sandstorm, the Lady Sandies, with the one with that run right there. 21 points in a quarter on Monterey, and their great defense is big time.
Well, we all knew that Amarillo was capable of this. Every team is capable of having runs. Monterey just hasn't been able to make the defensive adjustments, and then the fouls. The fouls have been hurting them whenever Amarillo is driving into the paint. And that's what Amarillo is good at, is defending the paint. That's what Monterey needs to make an adjustment right now on, so that way they're not committing the fouls, but maybe getting some charges in their favor instead.
And they also need to see the ball go through the net. They're getting the looks. Similar to how Amarillo had the looks in the first half. The looks are there. They're just not seeing it go through the net. And so that's something they're going to want to do here. The Lady Plainsmen fans getting loud and proud here. Here's Aaliyah Chavez again. Chavez for 3. Off the front iron. Rebound. It's going to be over the back on Mora. And the ball's going to go with the Lady Sandstorm. I believe that's number 3 on Mora. So back come the Sandstorm. See here, this is where it comes down to. This is the nitty-gritty. This is where you see the super team shine. Morrison steals it away. One of the Sandstorm players are down. Almost a travel, but she finishes at the cup. Oh man, you hate to see that. Down on the court right now is Lacey Rice. She needs help getting up off the court. She's favoring that right leg, Carson.
Yeah, and you hate to see that. You hate to see everyone injured, but you love those sportsmanship by Kelly Moore, making sure that she's all right.
So it's going to make it an 8-point ball game now here in Littlefield. Still favoring that right leg there. And you see both the training staffs for both these teams coming to help the player. And she's going to go take a seat on the bench. Sportsmanship by both teams as they're clapping here. Coach Schneider, though, taking advantage of this timeout. She's getting some coaching in, and you love to see that.
Yeah.
Oh, there was that ankle. Oh, that hurt me looking at that. Carson, you got lucky you weren't looking, because that hurt me. But Coach Schneider there, Coach Schneider taking advantage of that little break in action, coaching her team, trying to set something up again.
Well, you got to be able to take advantage of the small moments, and Coach Joe Schneider has been doing this for forever. She knows when to take advantage of certain opportunities.
Trying to go coast to coast, and Brosia foul is going to make a hard foul there. You don't want to give up any baskets, but man, I need to rave about the speed of Java Graves. She took that one coast to coast and burned Kelly Moore on that back end and had a chance to put it up for 2 here. Look at the speed.
She reminded me of a wide receiver on a football field right there.
Absolutely. Turnover, Monterey ball.
Held the ball for a little bit too long. Now we got 7:20 left to play in the 4th period. 8-point deficit.
Here's Chavez. You like your chances with her with the ball in her hand.
Oh, of course.
Getting double team, getting it down to Ari Johnson. Great pass, great
Beautiful.
finish. Ari Johnson with 2. She's at 5 points. Monterey fans are on their feet. It's now a 6-point ball game.
Well, and as a basketball team, you want your fans to be as loud as possible. You want that momentum from your fans.
You hear them chanting defense. If you're Monterey, the time is now. Make your run. Trying to poke the ball out, driving to the cup with Smith, and she's going to finish in front of Mora. Mackenzie Smith getting her first 2 points, and there's going to be a timeout on the floor.
And she has had a monstrous game so far.
It's going to be a 30-second timeout. Here's the instant replay. The timeout goes against Amarillo High, but here was that great feed moments ago to Ari Johnson, the 6'3" freshman. I remember going to practice yesterday. They wanted to feature her a lot, and down the stretch here, they keep calling her number.
Well, and with her being 6'3", she's gonna have that height advantage over a lot of these Amarillo Sandies. They're gonna want to use that as long as she can get an open look inside the paint.
Right now, Mackenzie Smith has 18 points of the 41 points for Amarillo High. Smith shining in the big stage as a senior. And that's who you want to step up. You want to see your seniors elevate and take over a game, and Mackenzie Smith has been that part for Coach Williams and company. Chavez driving with her right hand. Shooting a deep 3 off the iron. Mora battling for that rebound, but it's Mackenzie Smith coming away with it. She's got a double-double tonight, I guarantee it.
And there's the speed of Jada Graves right there again.
An elite, you know, when you're running that fast, it's hard to have great ball handling skills. And Jada Graves has got that.
Well, she makes it look easy, that's for sure.
Smith with the ball to Graves. And back to the top of the key. Graves thought about it there with Mora in front of her. That's a mismatch. I bet we see some switching soon as Ambrosia Cole with her arms up, denying the basket. Ooh, Kelly Mora bit on that, but lost the ball. Turnover, Monterey's got it.
5:45 left, let's see what they can do.
Chavez looking to go coast to coast. This is where you trust. Ooh, and kicking it out to Ambrosia Cole. Cole for 3.
Off the iron.
Yep, back iron. Rebound, Ari Johnson with the left hand. It's good.
She has 4 points this quarter.
Absolutely. The officials are blowing their whistle, and there was a timeout on the floor. I'm looking to see who called it. It's now 41-35. We're now at a 6-point differential. And everything that Amarillo High had cooking in that 3rd quarter, Monterey seems to have sizzled that fire out a little bit here in the 4th and have making a run of their own.
A little bit. You see Monterey's defense stiffening up a little bit. They know that Amarillo wants to get inside the paint and draw fouls, and they're really working to not do that, and they're doing a great job. But then on the opposite side of the court, they're really driving in and getting the high percentage looks that I was talking about earlier. That's how they have managed to make this from a 13-point deficit to now a 6-point deficit.
Absolutely. Looking at some of the fans here, great crowd on hand here in Littlefield. We had to park a mile away, Carson, when we got here. I called it the nosebleeds of parking spots because we were so far away from the gym.
Yeah, you hate walking that far, but you know, we have to let the fans have the good parking spots too, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the timeout is getting close. It was a full timeout, and Coach Jeff Williams taking advantage of the entire time as he's about to break out his huddle. Carson, we haven't sat down once during this broadcast. It's because of how great this game has been.
Oh, of course. You love the energy, the anticipation for this game coming into the night. You love everything about the atmosphere. You have fans standing up like we've mentioned. So why are we not going to stand up?
Absolutely. If you're Aaliyah Chavez, you got 7 points so far in the game. Ambrosia Cole goes flying. Kelly Mora trying to stop that fast break, but Mackenzie Smith puts it in for 2. She's now at 20 points in the game. She is big time. Chavez trying to be big time here. Too strong. Rebound, Ari Johnson, and she's big time. That was awesome. Ari Johnson stepping up. She's at 6 this quarter.
Three ball.
Too strong. And guess who? Johnson gets the rebound. 43-37, 4:54 to go. Chavez getting a screen from Mora. That's all the separation she needs to drive from the free throw line.
And she'll be shooting 2.
Absolutely. Aaliyah Chavez so far tonight has 7 points. The sophomore averaging 31 points a game, only has 7, and that's to tip your cap to the defense for the Sandies as she's about to toe the line for the first time. Drains the first.
And that was one of the keys for Amarillo heading into this game. They isolated Kelly Moore very well the first game. They really wanted to focus on Aaliyah Chavez, and they have.
Here's the second opportunity for Chavez. It's good. She's now at 9. 43-39, 4-point ball game here down the stretch. Coach Williams and his assistants calling out some plays.
This is where players' inner champion comes out.
As the kids would like to say, they want to see that dog.
Yeah, they want to see the dog in them.
Monterey fans yelling out a travel. They're playing stall ball a little bit. Stolen away by Morrison. She's on the floor. Timeout.
Timeout.
Monterey. Great steal there by Jalen Morrison.
And even better IQ by Coach Joe Snyder.
Absolutely. Calling that timeout the second her player had the possession. She was on the other side of the court. You'll see the commitment and the drive by Jalen Morrison, one of the seniors on this team, not ready to give up and ready to keep fighting. Wow, I'm getting excited. It's a full timeout here. And there you see Coach Williams coaching up his team. Morrison, of course, had a monster game, and that might be one of the biggest plays of the night right there, where things are getting down to the wire, seeing that senior step up. You like Sweet Caroline, Carson?
I'm just soaking it all in. You love seeing the crowd engage with the karaoke.
Yeah, and the Littlefield Wildcats in the building tonight. We keep showcasing him there. He's bringing the energy here in the Wildcat Gym, so rightfully so, we show the Wildcat.
Yeah, I've seen him walk behind us a couple times, trying to get us hyped up even more than we are.
You know, Max Preps has this Monterey team ranked 23rd in the entire nation for girls basketball. This is the time where we need to see that 23rd ranking team step up.
Of course.
This is where you grind your teeth. This is where you are the most lockdown defender in the history of defenders when you're on defense. But right now, you need an open look and you need a basket from one of your players.
And you need to be able to be comfortable. You don't want to you still have 4 minutes. You have plenty of time in a 4-point game, but you want to be comfortable. You want to take the high percentage looks.
Here's Ambrosia Cole, the baseline triple.
Bang!
She knocked it down. Ambrosia Cole, her first points of the second half, and we got a 1-point ball game after she ripped the net and tickled the twine.
I knew you were going to say at some point in time in this game.
All right, 43-42. You hear the electricity, and I'm getting the chills. Dishing it down low. Great finish there for Amarillo. Peyton Daniels now with 5 points.
Back to a 3-point ball game. You know Aaliyah Chavez is going to be looking for a 3. Let's see if she can hit one.
And this is one of the times where you need to trust your teammates.
Of course.
As well. You know, Ambrosia Cole's been hot. Ari Johnson been great down low. Cole drives. The floater, it's good.
Beautiful.
Great stuff there by Ambrosia Cole. She's got 5 here in the fourth as they've cut into this Amarillo High lead. See both teams, both fans yelling. But the Monterey faithful is getting real loud. There's that stop. Mackenzie Smith misses strong, and here comes Chavez. Dishing it to Ari Johnson. Oh, and a turnover on the play there, trying to get it down to the 6'3" freshman, but too strong. Mora trying to get the block, but not there. Victoria Barrera scores.
Now you're seeing the ball fly everywhere. I feel like it's a drone just flying around.
Absolutely. Both of these teams got to be gassed. Each team has played 6 to 7 players, maybe max, and all of their players have given their all. Chavez for 3. Too strong. Johnson trying to get the rebound, but it's the Lady Sandies that come up with it. 2:30 to go here in Littlefield. Regional semifinals on the line. Who's going to step up? Who's ready for it? We're about to see.
2:15 to go.
Absolutely. Trying to let the atmosphere speak for the game here because this is electric.
Of course.
Oh, a great pump. Not a good finish. And it's Monterey coming up with it. Chavez looking for Ambrosia Cole. Number 10 for 3. Oh, strong, but Ari Johnson's there. She puts it back in. She has 8 points in the quarter. Number 24 stepping up like Kobe Bryant.
There you go.
Yeah, I made a connection there.
Yeah.
8 and 24 for the freshman.
It was about to happen. You saw it coming.
She's in double figures like a lot of these players out here tonight. 47-46.
And these are the games you love to see as a fan or even as a spectator. You love to see the high energy. You love to see the energy from the fans, the cheerleaders, and the players.
10 out of 10. We hope the broadcast communicates how great of an atmosphere this is because this is amazing. Smith driving past Mora. She gets fouled by Jalen Morrison. She's going to go to the line. That was a great move to the right, go to the left, and try to get to the cup. Smith at 20 points right now, going for 21 and 22.
And that's something you really don't want to do if you're Monterey, because if you don't foul right there, she might not make it. You get the ball back, you have transition. But she misses a first free throw. So now at max, you're in a 2-point deficit, which is still very, very reasonable.
Absolutely, and make her earn it. And that's what they did. Make her earn it from the charity stripe. Second one goes. She's at 21. Let's see what Chavez can do. She's at 9 points. You want to see her step up here if you're Coach Snyder and company. That was rough right there. They got the shot off, but it looked like she was clipped a little bit, Carson.
A little bit.
Back in transition is the Sandies. Got to get back if you're Monterey. That's good for 2.
Peyton Daniels.
For Peyton Daniels.
Timeout, Sandies.
Timeout on the floor. Holy smokes. I'm getting a crink in my neck, Carson, from turning left to right so fast. These teams are trying to set the tone and set the pace.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm getting some chills down my spine.
Absolutely. 55 seconds to go here. Monterey down by 4 to the Amarillo High Sandies. And you got to think these are 2 very different huddles happening right now.
Of course. You got to think, what would you do right now if you're Coach Joe Snyder? You're down by 4. What are you thinking right now?
You know, you have the #1 point guard in the country for class of 2025 in Aaliyah Chavez. But we've seen tonight it's not her night. I would give it to Ambrosia Cole or Ari Johnson down low in the paint. Both of those ladies have had a phenomenal night tonight. And so I would give it to number 10 or number 24. But at the same time, Chavez is such an electric player that you want to see her with the ball in the end. She's your leader. She's your leading point scorer. So even though she's kind of had an off night, I wouldn't mind seeing number 2 at the rock here down the stretch.
I know what I would do.
What would you do?
I would set up a game plan. I would set up 2 game plans. One to get Ari Johnson in the paint. The second one is find a way to get Ambrosia Cole open on a 3-ball. She has been electric in the threes. She's really found her rhythm here in the second half with the 3-ball. So I wouldn't see any reason to not let her shoot one and let one fly right here.
All right, 55 seconds to go. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. This is what it comes down to. This is girls high school basketball. Chavez letting it dribble out here. Save every second that she could.
Of course.
Trying to get the floater and it's blocked. Foul on the play. Chavez is going to go to the line to shoot 2.
And that's exactly, I'm pretty sure, what Coach Jill Snyder was wanting. She wanted them to drive in. They wanted to get the foul, not only to stop the clock, but to hopefully get some 2 points and get them 2 points closer to tying this ball game.
Something you need to take note of if you're looking at the score down there. Monterey, 0 timeouts. Amarillo High still at 2. Chavez buries the first one. It's now a 1-possession game. Coach Schneider out there screaming out her plans and her adjustments here. Chavez, cool, calm, and collected, drains the second one. At the end of the day, she's such an electric player and she'll make plays.
That is true.
47 seconds to go.
Even when it's not her night, she still finds a way to help out her team.
Absolutely, she's now in double figures with 11. Trying to get the double team there, but that often leads an open lane to the paint. Driving, kicking, foul on the play. Man, these Amarillo fans are super excited, and rightfully so.
As Jalen Morrison gets her third foul.
Yep, going to the line, Tatum Bell. She's 1 for 2 today from the charity stripe.
And if you're Tatum Bell, you need to knock these down, even if it's just one of them.
It's a 1-and-1, and she missed it. She missed it. She's 1 for 3. Down by 2. Chavez with the ball in her hand. Looking and surveying.
And
you gotta think she's gonna take it. She drives to the cup. Finishes strong! Finishes strong as Aaliyah Chavez. We're tied at 50. The clock is rolling. 7 seconds to go. If you're Monterey, you need to stop. The 3 for the win. No good. We're going to overtime here in Littlefield.
Wow.
What a comeback. You hear the electricity. Every person in this building is on their feet. Monterey forces overtime with a beautiful floater by the ace, Aaliyah Chavez.
Oh, and you know she was going to be the one taking it. This is the one that Coach Joe Schneider has the most trust in these tough moments. And she finishes and she executes. And that's what she's so good at.
Peyton Daniels there down low trying to get the charge. And we got a full timeout here on the floor. They say in sports, teams that force overtime are more likely to win. And so if you're a Monterey fan, you like those odds, but at the same time, they're odds. Both teams got to show up here in the first overtime period.
Of course.
That was outstanding. Amarillo was held to 11 points there in the fourth quarter. I'm trying to do some quick math here on my page. Monterey answered with 21 to tie this one up. So Amarillo had a 21-7 scoring advantage in the third. Monterey responds with a 10-point scoring advantage in the fourth, and we're headed to overtime.
Well, and you knew with Monterey scoring only single digits in the second and third period, you knew they were going to have to make some adjustments to get a higher score so they can get back in this ball game. They had 9 in the second quarter. They had 7 in the third quarter, as you just mentioned. Then battling back and getting 21, their most in any quarter of this ball game. And they're back in this game tied up.
Absolutely. Something you need to take note of. Multiple Monterey Lady Plainsmen have 3 fouls, Carson, and I see we have them both on our list. Aaliyah Chavez with 3, Kelly Mora with 3, and we have one other, I think it's Morrison with 3. So that ball goes the way of the Lady Sandies. And you're seeing what was already an exciting and elevated game take up that next step as we have 4 minutes to go here in Littlefield.
That ball's gonna be tipped out of bounds.
Yeah, Ambrosia Cole getting her hand out, trying to play some lockdown defense there. And so here's the inbounds.
And if you're Monterey, you don't mind that because that stops the clock.
Absolutely. Monterey needing to stop here. Sandies looking to find what they had going in that third quarter as they went on a tear. And it was featured by that player right there, Mackenzie Smith.
She has been the leading scorer for the entire team, the entire season.
Getting out to Smith there. She thought about shooting a 3. Mora keeping a couple feet away from her because she's really good at doing a little jab step and driving past. You see that by these Lady Plainsmen trying, and there's a great stop there by Kelly Moore to stop the slash. A 3 ball off the back of the backboard. It's gonna go the way of the Lady Plainsmen.
And that's just a great defensive possession by the Monterey Plainsmen. That, like I said earlier, they've been making defensive adjustments all the time in the second half, and now it's starting to play into overtime. That's the things that they need to take advantage of. That way, whenever they get the ball back on offense, they start to get some scores.
Double team leading to Ari Johnson wide open. Bang. Yes, ma'am. She puts it down. The freshman doing great things here. She's in double figures. Big time players step in big time moments, and Ari Johnson has been a star. You hear the fans getting loud. You see signs all over the place saying Lady Plainsmen. This is outstanding. This is phenomenal atmosphere for girls high school basketball.
It doesn't get much better than this, that's for sure.
Here's Smith there, backing it up. Coach Williams calling out the play down low. You saw it on your screen. Smith, mano-a-mano against Mora. Driving, too strong. Mora with the rebound. Uncle Momo has flipped sides. Momentum is with Monterey, 1,000%.
And I'm gonna use my imagination right now. You're starting to see the shape start to sway. The waves are making the boat rock.
That's for sure. Chavez getting locked down defensively. You love to see that for Amarillo's Victoria Barrera. She is, and you see Monterey playing the stall ball here.
Yeah.
That's a tactic in high school basketball because there's no shot clock.
Well, it's something that you got to be able to take advantage of.
Yes, and they're going to have to foul somebody, and that's who you don't want to foul. You don't want to foul Ambrosia Cole either.
That's exactly right. There's a ton of shooters on this team.
And stepping out of bounds was Ambrosia Cole. Jada Graves locking her down right there. Graves, a junior. That was some great defense there. Here's the instant replay of it as Ambrosia Cole tries to go with that right foot, and it's her heel that goes out of bounds right there.
Even if it's by a little bit, like a centimeter, it's going to be called.
All right, timeout on the floor. Trying to see who called it. I want to say it was Coach Schneider. Holy smokes. I'm not going to have a voice by the end of tonight, Carson, because this has been a great game.
I'm not either. And like I said, I feel like I'm yelling to you.
That's the truth. So it was Amarillo that called the timeout. Thank you to our producer in the truck. Of course, this is a great opportunity to say subscribe to our YouTube channel. The game that you are watching this broadcast on tonight is Lubbock ISD's official YouTube channel, and we would love to interact with you here. And subscribe, right? It's a great channel. And we do want to tip our cap as well to all the students working the cameras here tonight, as well as directing our show, running the audio and replay. It's a student-produced broadcast, and I know we said that in the first half, but if you're impressed by this, it's because of the great work by our students.
Yeah, and that's what you've instilled in us, Mr. Ward. You've instilled in us to be hard workers, to be leaders, and to really just bring things together by ourselves and not with the aid of you. And I can't thank you enough for that.
Well, I think it's everybody in the staff. I'll take that.
That's true.
I appreciate that. But we have an awesome team at Lubbock ISD TV. I see Miss Sewell over here running the camera. I know Mr. Edgar's in the truck. We're a well-rounded team, and we community teach. And so thank you for that compliment, Carson. Back underway we go here in overtime. Minute 15 on the clock. Amarillo with the rock. What do they do here? Defense chance being chanted. 2-point lead for the Lady Plainsmen. 1 minute to go here. Great pass down low, but stolen away by Leah Chavez. You see the fans on their feet. It's go time now. Mora quickly getting it, and she's going to get fouled. The foul is going to go against Victoria Barrera. I believe that's her third foul. This is tremendous. Coach Williams wanting an explanation from the officiating crew. You see the official there talking to the table. You know, in these tense moments like this, as a head coach, you're going to want an explanation because any little play, any little foul could change the outcome of this game.
No, I completely agree. And now if you're Amarillo, I think Coach Jeff Williams is using this as a tactic to stop the clock.
Nope, I think she fouled out. I had the wrong number for her total fouls. Fouling out of the game is Victoria Barrera. The tears on her face says it all. You know how intense this moment is. 43 seconds to go. That's why those little tic-tac fouls that were happening during the different runs by the teams are so important. Chavez getting suffocated. It's gonna be an over and back. Ball, Sandies. Monterey fans are not happy about it. Neither is Chavez. She had 2 Sandy defenders on top of her, and it looked like there was contact made.
Oh, it definitely did. I didn't think they called a backcourt because I couldn't hear anything because of the fans. But
there's contact right there.
Yeah, I mean, that should not, in my eyes, be a backcourt violation.
But at the end of the day, these officials are human, and that's going to happen.
Of course.
They don't have the replay like we do. They're doing their best to do their best job out there. Feeding it down low, finishing strong, 21 seconds to go. Getting those points there was Tatum Bell. Here comes Chavez, 15 seconds left on the clock. Monterey fans are on their feet. You see Chavez there. She got fouled, so there's gonna be an inbound pass. Timeout, I believe, called by Coach Jeff Williams here. Wow. That was a great shot there down on this opposite end, Carson, by Amarillo, getting that backdoor feed to the wide open layup there for Bell. But now with 15 seconds to go here in this game, you got to think Monterey's going to want to hold the ball a little bit and take that last shot.
Of course. And if worse comes to worse, you miss second overtime. Right. That's worse comes to worse. You're holding this ball if you're Monterey. You do not want to have a shot right off of the inbound, and it gives Amarillo enough time to possibly make a score. That's not ideal. You want this ball to, you want the time to just waste away.
Absolutely. You want Aaliyah Chavez to be the one holding it. Now, if you're Amarillo High, I would not be surprised at all if they do a quick foul, force her to the free throw line, and try your shot at a three-pointer to win it.
Oh, I would not be surprised if they did that. Honestly, that's what I'm expecting them to do. That's what you do in these low second games, like 15 seconds, 10 seconds, because you need that clock to stop. You need to give yourself an opportunity. And I hate that fouling is the way to do it, but unfortunately it is. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
All right, so here we go. Back out we go. 15 seconds here in overtime. And everybody's back on their feet here. We are so honored to bring you this game on Lubbock ISD's official YouTube channel. Chavez going behind the back. Fade away from 15. Too strong. Rebound, Jalen Morrison. Oh, and it's not there. Amarillo has it with 3 seconds to go. Running across is Jada, and time's going to expire. No good. We are headed to a second overtime.
Wow.
If you weren't excited enough, if your feels were not through the roof, they need to be, because this is tremendous.
I've never seen any high school game like this in my life, I don't think.
Yeah, if you don't feel it, you might need to go to get your heart checked.
Right.
Because I'm feeling it, man. Coach Snyder there coaching, and we have another 4 minutes on the clock. Holy smokes. I think only 2 points were scored by each team in that first overtime.
I do think you're correct.
See Coach Snyder in her 25th season at Monterey, and she's got herself a tremendous team.
And you know, the leadership and the experience, it comes from her. She's been coaching for, what did you say, 25 years?
25.
25 years. She's instilling her knowledge into her players. So even if her players are freshmen, they've got her experience in their hearts.
They also have the experience of Kelly Mora being on varsity since her freshman year. The experience of Jalen Morrison being on varsity for such quite time. And of course, Aaliyah Chavez, only a sophomore, but her experience playing in the travel ball circuit is invaluable. She's played against top-tier talent. And like I said, iron sharpens iron. When you have great players across the board, everybody's going to get better.
Of course.
So overtime number 2, here we go. Might as well jump, right?
Yep.
All right. Mora wins that. It's going to be Chavez coming away with it. Jalen Morrison had her hand up down low in the paint. Oh, blocked. Rebound to Ari Johnson. It's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow, Amarillo High. See Coach Williams wanting an explanation. Both, it looks like one team's in the bonus. Officials coming to the desk here to talk about what's happening. They're looking up at the scoreboard, trying to figure out there was something wrong up there.
There was. It counted down from 8 minutes instead of from 4 minutes. So it should say 3:49 right now.
There it goes. They just updated it, and we're going to update it in our truck. There it is. Great call there by Coach Williams for noticing that and making sure that the officials knew about it.
That also gives his team a chance to regroup, a chance to maybe gather a game plan on themselves and not necessarily through head coach Jeff Williams.
So here we are. Sandies with the ball. Screen there by Smith, and it was Chavez that got the slash there. Down low to Smith, 3-on-1, spinning, not able to finish. Rebound, Ari Johnson, and they're gonna try to work quick in transition. Great defense there by the Sandstorm to halt that great transition. Mora, easy shot, bang! Easy for two. Kelly Mora with her first points since the third quarter.
And that's what Monterey has to take advantage of. They have to take advantage of Kelly Mora to get inside the paint and get an open look.
Great reverse layup and in for Jada Graves. She's been an all-star tonight for Coach Williams, along with Mackenzie Smith. That's something you practice daily on your basketball court in your front yard. Kicking it out to Morrison for three. Too strong. Ari Johnson there in the corner trying to lock her down. Back come the Sandstorm. We're knotted up at 54, 2:37 on the clock. Trying to get a high percentage shot. Fouled on the play. It's Aaliyah Chavez, and she better watch out. I think she's at 4.
She is at 4.
That's something to keep an eye on. She's somebody that Monterey cannot afford to get into foul trouble, and here she is.
Well, but if worse goes to worse and she does foul out, they still have Ambrosia Cole and
Kelly Mora and Ari Johnson. That first one goes
and
for Tatum
Ari Johnson.
Bell.
I couldn't find the other one. But they still have those 3 players on the court, and I know that they can make something happen between themselves. It doesn't always have to run through Aaliyah Chavez.
There's the second free throw opportunity for Bell. She gets the roll. All right, down by 2. Here comes Monterey. 1:30 into the second overtime. Chavez driving, trying to get that roll again. Too strong. Ari Johnson down there, down low, trying to get the rebound, and they had her trapped. Now here comes a quick run for Amarillo High, 3-on-2. Oh, trying to get a double dribble was the fans.
Fans are clearly upset about that.
They stand up really quick when they don't agree. So 2 minutes to go here in the second overtime. Sandies on top of the Lady Plainsmen, 56-54. You hear the fans. They've been loud and proud all game. Johnson out there. Great cut by Smith. Turnover.
She loses the ball.
Ambrosia Cole comes up with it. She was trying to cut to the basket before she gathered it and lost control. Ambrosia Cole dishing it back to Chavez, and they're going to reset.
1:30 left to go.
Coach Snyder telling Jalen Morrison to get over to that baseline. That's her shot. Timeout on the floor. Coach Snyder wanting to tell something. She's communicating with Kelly Moore right now as the team comes to join her in the huddle.
1:20 left on the clock.
It's going to be a 30-second timeout that looks like they're stretching to a full. And that's what it is. We got a minute-long timeout. Once again, the team that advances on tonight will be in the regional semifinals for Region 1, where they'll play either the Texans from Northwest High School or Mansfield Timberview, home of the Wolves. That game will be on Friday the 24th. They don't have a site, but tip-off will be at 4 p.m. And that's going to be a big-time game in the state. No matter what team advances tonight, Carson, all eyes are going to be on this team coming out of Region 1.
Of course. Both these teams have been fighting with grit, toughness, resilience even. And whoever wins this game, as you said, has a great shot of going to the state championship.
Yep, at least making it to the state tournament. And that's the expectation for both of these teams coming into this season, right? For Coach Schneider, got a senior-heavy team with a lot of great pieces to work with. For Coach Williams, it's a junior and senior-heavy team that made it all the way to the semifinals last year. So expectations are sky high for both these programs.
Of course.
All right, we're about to get back underway here in Littlefield. Thank you guys for watching on Lubbock ISD's YouTube. This game's being presented by Lubbock ISD TV. Here's Chavez on top of the Wildcat there. Going one-on-one. Morrison setting a screen, and now she's getting double teamed, leaving one person open. Mora down low in the paint, finishes strong. Kelly Mora puts it in for 2. She's got 4 in this overtime. And we're under a minute here in Littlefield. Can one team come out on top? We're excited to see. That 3 ball is short. Chavez battles for the rebound. And she's gonna slow it down.
Just ripping the ball away from the defender on that rebound.
Absolutely.
You love to see it.
Rebounding is all about who wants it. Chavez wanted it. That ball's gonna be tipped and it's gonna stay with the Lady Plainsmen. 38 seconds to go. Right, rebounding is all about grit and want. And you saw it there with Chavez. Mora there finishing strong to knock this game up at 56. You gotta get the ball in. You gotta get it in.
And that's who you want to get it to, is Kelly Mora right there.
Here's Chavez to Ambrosia Cole for the lead. Off the iron. 30 seconds. 30 seconds to go. You can see these teams slowly getting tired. But it's not about being tired. It's got to be overcoming this adversity of how long this game's been. It looks like Amarillo High is looking to get this last look here. They're slowing it down.
15 seconds.
You hear the defensive chants. Driving. And it's going to be a foul called on Jalen Morrison. Ari Johnson not getting up. She's grabbing her right leg. Oh, that's not a sight you want to see, as Ari Johnson has been a pivotal player for Monterey. She is looking at her left leg. You can tell on her face she's feeling the pain. And you hate to see it, especially in these big games and these big moments. And any time, really. You don't ever want to see a player go down.
Yeah, that's what really stinks about sports, is in any sport, you know, injuries happen. And you don't want to think about it, but it's always what happens.
Oh, it was a knee-to-knee thing. Ari Johnson went knee-to-knee with Amarillo's Tatum Bell. You see the training staff looking at her knee. It was direct contact with her knee, and that never feels good.
No, it definitely doesn't.
So probably checking in to the game for Monterey. You got to think it's Mackenzie Begay. Or Madeline Campos, one of the two. See Johnson there struggling. She is favoring that knee really bad. See the assistant coach going over there and helping her out. Mackenzie, it's Landry Kidd is that assistant coach there. Had previous head coaching experience, 3 years out in Wellman Union. Wanted to have the opportunity to move back to Lubbock with his family, and is now helping an experienced coach in Jill Schneider, making his game even better for him and getting to coach these type of players that he's getting to coach. He said it was a tremendous opportunity for him and his family.
Well, and you know, with him coaching alongside Coach Jill Schneider and him learning the things that she's also teaching her players, you know he's getting a lot out of it. He's getting a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge from the 25-year head coach.
Jalen Morrison fouls out of the game for Monterey. Her night is done. Checking in was Heaven Lamone.
It's off the back iron.
Oh man, 10 seconds to go. This could be for the win. Every fan has got back on their feet. 3, here we go. Oh, how's that not a foul? And they're gonna go to a third overtime. Could this game be any more crazy? Players fouling out, and we're headed to a third overtime.
I just want to note, there has been 6 points from each side since overtime has started.
Yep.
That tells you how good their defense is locking up. Even though they're fatigued, even though they're tired, they're still persevering.
So 56 all. Another third overtime to go. We'll have another 4 minutes, and this game is getting insane. I'm looking down onto the court. You have the media personnel all looking at each other in shock, and rightfully so.
I don't think this game can get any crazier unless it goes into another overtime.
Absolutely. So we're getting ready for our third overtime here in Wildcat Gym, where they talk about pride and tradition and victory. Both of these schools have a ton of pride and tradition on the hardwood, but what team will come up with a victory tonight? We're gonna find out eventually. Might take 7 overtimes, but we might get there, right?
Hey, I'll be here for it if it takes 7 overtimes.
Absolutely. I feel bad for the camera operators. Their shoulders gotta be sore, but they're out there killing it. Now, one thing to keep an eye on. We talked about it in the first overtime, foul trouble. We're starting to see some players fouling out in this game, Carson, and Aaliyah Chavez is right on the brink of being able to foul out here.
Yes, she has to be very, very careful. I know she still wants to play her aggressive style of play, but she's got to be able to
Got to be disciplined.
She's got to be, disciplined. That's the word I'm looking for. She has to be disciplined in those high energy, high aggressive moments that she needs to just remind herself, hey, I can't foul. I can't foul. If I foul, I foul out.
Absolutely. So here we go. What a game. And we thank everybody for tuning in right now as we're hopefully in the third overtime might see the finale. It's the Sandies that come away with it. Checking in for the first time tonight for the Sandies. It's number 32, Casper. It's Tatiana Casper checking in here. Defense chants being chanted out.
And the cheerleaders' legs got to be sore after slapping that pad on their legs the entire game.
Absolutely. Trying to go down low. Mora there standing tall, and she's the one that gets the board. Great post move by Amarillo High. Ambrosia Cole with the flare. Ambrosia Cole, the Bro gives them the lead. So back come the Sandies.
And she had the look to take a 3 if she wanted, but she took the higher percentage shot, and that's what you need to do in these late moments of the game.
Absolutely. Thinking about it with Smith. Coach calling out another play. He's slapping his wrist. You see him down there on the bottom of your screen. 3 overtimes. Doesn't get much better than that. And it's going to go against Amarillo High. Turnover. Monterey ball.
And these are the moments that Monterey has to take advantage of. They're only ahead by 2 points, but if they get 2 more right here, that makes it a 2-possession game, and that is pivotal in this third overtime.
Absolutely. Here's Chavez, 2:50 to go in third overtime. We've played a lot of minutes here in Littlefield, and you could not have chalked this game up any better. Timeout on the floor. Coach Schneider wants to talk it over. Tip your cap to the defense of the Sandstorm. They have been on top of Aaliyah all night. You can tell she's been a little frustrated at moments, but I'm anxious to see how she steps up here.
Well, and you got to think she's averaging 30-some-odd points a game. Yep. She doesn't have that many tonight, so she's probably thinking, hey, I need to do something myself, but the defense has noticed that. They notice that. They're starting to double team when she starts dancing in the backside of the court.
Yep.
When they double team them, when they double team her, she starts to get a little anxious, a little jittery, and she just starts trying to find the open man.
Well, and that's when they're finding that open man, right? Because if you're double teaming her, that's going to leave somebody wide open.
Right.
And 99% of the time tonight has been Ari Johnson or Kelly Mora down in the paint, getting that easy bucket. You talk about points for Monterey Lady Plainsmen, Aaliyah Chavez, averaging 31 per game. You see Ari Johnson going to the locker room, and you hate to see that. But she only has 13 points tonight. And that's not her normal.
It's not. And that's why she's probably thinking, I need to do something to get my totals up. But right now, it's not about your totals. It's about the team's totals.
Absolutely.
And that's what that's what the team has to remember.
Well, and that's what we've been seeing down this final stretch. Who's been making these baskets in overtime? It's been Ambrosia Cole. It's been, of course, Ari Johnson just went into the locker room, but it's been her as well as Kelly Mora in these final stretch. Up by 2:37 to go. Here's Chavez driving, floating, just short. That's how I would summarize her night tonight. And that's going to stay with the Sandies. Great lockdown defense by Heaven Lamone. She's making her presence felt in these final minutes. Her senior leadership showing up right here.
Well, and you have to make your presence known. You have to remind the opposing team that, hey, we have some superstars, but I can be one too.
Absolutely. Showing up in these big moments is Lamone. Dribbling with the right and dishing back out to the left to Smith. That's who we've been seeing get the ball a lot tonight. Ooh, and tripping right there. Great backside help by Lamone, and it's kicked out of bounds by Kelly Mora. Getting tripped up right there was Madeline Campos. You gotta love the backside help defense there by Mora, not allowing her to go straight to the basket after her teammate tripped.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. Amarillo High has had great success in driving in the paint and getting open looks, just slithering behind the defense. But Monterey really has done a really good job of being able to protect that, and that starts with Kelly Mora.
Here we go, a 3-ball for Smith. Too strong. Rebound. That was a jump ball. Possession arrow, Monterey.
That is huge.
Absolutely huge. If they can stretch their lead here, just a 2-point shot to a 2-possession ball game, game changer. Because we haven't seen that here in overtime. We've seen a single possession lead change, but not a 2-possession.
Well, and need I remind you, there's only been 2 points between both teams in this third overtime.
So here we go. Here's Ambrosia Cole here, getting a screen from Chavez. Getting it down low to Mora. Smith tips it out. It's gonna be an inbound pass for Monterey.
1:15 left to go.
I love how they're feeding it down. I'm a big fan of working from the inside out, especially in these kind of moments.
Of course, and it just goes down to, you want to take the high percentage look.
Absolutely.
3 points, yeah, even if you're the most comfortable player at taking 3-point shots, it might not be the highest percentage look. You want to be able to get as close to the rim as you can.
Here's a 3-pointer from Ambrosia Cole. Ooh, Campos battling. Lamone comes up with the board. Lamone spots. Bang! Heaven Lamone gets her first points of tonight in the biggest moment of this game. Monterey up 4. Heaven Lamone, a senior, stepping up. Tipped out of bounds by Chavez. Great defense to tip that ball out. It's going to stay with the Sandies.
40 seconds left. If you're head coach Jeff Williams, what play call are you dialing up right here?
You got to come up with your best one. It's got to be to 25, Mackenzie Smith. She's been a certified bucket tonight, and you want to keep giving it to her.
I couldn't agree more.
Trying to stretch out, and 3-ball for the Sandies. Back iron, no good. Smith gets the board. She puts it in. Mackenzie Smith. Wow, 60-58.
Man.
See Chavez talking to her team as she comes off the court. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna crash tonight with my adrenaline going, because this is such a back and forth game, a game with a lot of implications, and I can't get enough of it. This is outstanding.
I can't either. This has been such a great game to commentate. I can't be more thankful, I'm gonna be honest.
Absolutely, we're glad to have you. Of course, you're watching this game for free on the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel, and we thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Make sure, just click the subscribe button, click the like on it. It's gonna help us grow our YouTube channel as we try to grow the Lubbock ISD YouTube. See some fans dancing. Of course, she's on the Monterey sideline, and so rightfully so. They're allowed to be a little happier right now because you're up by 2 with 25 seconds to go.
Yeah.
All right. See Coach Schneider and company holding up the 2 at Monterey. That's the victory V. It's time to see if they can capture victory.
And they're in prime possession to do it right now. They're gonna have the ball. I'm gonna assume that Amarillo is going to foul. They have to foul to stop the clock. They have to hope that Monterey does not get the 1-and-1.
It's Lamone with the pass, and it's Ambrosia Cole getting the ball. They're gonna have to try to lock her down on this side of the court, and they can't. Foul, Cole. He's gonna get a chance to go to the stripe.
It's a foul on Gasper.
Tatiana Gasper really checking in this overtime period. And when you start getting teams into foul trouble, you're starting to see the depth of your team. How deep is your bench? And we're seeing it right now. Monterey's bench is pretty deep. Here's Ambrosia Cole.
Well, and I think that's why Amarillo High decided...
Making the front end of the 1-and-1. Her first free throw tonight is probably the biggest.
And I think that's why Amarillo High decided to call up some of their JV, because they know they're going to need depth in this playoff tournament.
Absolutely. Here's Cole. Second chance. Good. Another 4-point chance here. Monterey fans are pumped. Here comes Amarillo driving. Oh man, what a roll. Great job by Jada Graves. She has 4 points in overtime. 10 seconds to go, 62-60. No matter what, if Amarillo fouls, Monterey's gonna go to the free throw line. And they could still stretch it to a 4-point game again. And you gotta think that's what Amarillo's gotta do, right? You gotta foul and play the foul game at this point.
You have to. As soon as that ball gets inbounds, you have to foul. There's only 11 seconds left in the game. You have to foul to stop the clock.
A key tonight for Coach Schneider was balance. Balance across the board. They've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players get into the score column tonight, and it's been really balanced. It's not really one player doing everything. It's been basically all 6.
Well, and that's what good teams, or not even good teams, but great teams have to do. You can't rely on 1 or 2 players to do all the heavy lifting. You have to have your entire team share the weight.
Absolutely. You need 3 to 4 players on any given night to be in double figures. Tonight, Monterey's got 5. And they're telling their fans to get on their feet.
Yeah.
Here it is. Crunch time here in Littlefield.
They put 1 more second back on the clock.
12.2 seconds to go. Heaven Lamone is to be the one passing the ball in, and it is press defense for Amarillo High. They get it to Mora. They got a foul. They got a foul. Mora's got to get rid of it too. Ambrosia Cole, and there's a foul on the play. Trying to sneak up from behind was Peyton Daniels, and I think that's who they're going to call the foul on. Ambrosia Cole is going to get to go to the charity stripe to extend this lead. She's been cool, calm, and collected all night. I want to say she's the leading scorer.
I do think she is.
She's been phenomenal, and she's going to have a chance to go to the line. It's in between her or Ari Johnson.
And Ari Johnson had that huge, huge fourth quarter, as we saw.
Absolutely. So here's the freshman, Ambrosia Cole, in the biggest game of her high school career, toeing the line in third overtime. The front end, good. Make it a 3-point game. If she knocks this down, it might be game over.
It could be.
So this is a huge free throw right here for Jill Schneider and this team. A freshman, Ambrosia Cole. Can she put the dagger in the heart of the Sandy faithful? Oh, rolls in and out, 6 seconds to go. The Sandies have it. They have the ball in their hands. For a 3, for the tie. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The three-pointer in the baseline, knocked down by the Sandstorm. Wow! It's Lacey Rice with her 5th point of the night. You see it here on the instant replay. Can you believe it? You better believe it, because we're going to the 4th overtime here in Littlefield. What a game. What a roller coaster of emotions for both teams. The Lady Sandies forced the 4th overtime with a last-second 3-ball.
Well, I need to remind you, in the first overtime, both teams got 2 points.
Yep.
The second overtime, both teams got 4 points. And the third overtime, both teams got 7 points.
They're matching each other.
This is what I like to call a toe-to-toe fight.
Absolutely. We are now in like the 17th round of a boxing fight, it feels like.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they go that many rounds, Carson, but that's what it feels like.
It definitely does feel like that.
Both teams are throwing their fair share of punches, and both teams are connecting. 63 all, fourth overtime. I've never seen an 8 on the scoreboard where it says period.
I don't think I have either.
Tremendous.
Hey, there's first time for everything, though.
And if you weren't already hyped, let's do it again, huh? We just wanted more basketball. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted. We don't have, no, we have school tomorrow, but.
Yeah.
All right, Mora winning that tip-off. You know, in that moment, I'm surprised Amarillo didn't try to go for it, because in these nitty-gritty times of this game, every possession counts.
Right.
Ambrosia Cole, great drive to Lamone. She's gonna try to hook it up. It's a pass to Mora. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Kelly Mora, the Texas Tech signee, putting it in there for 2. Holy smokes. This is everything and more that we wanted from tonight's game. Once again, the winner advances to the regional semifinals. Number 1 versus number 7 in the state. The 3 ball again from that corner. Too strong. Mora with the board. That was the player that connected with that 3 ball moments ago was Lacey Rice, and she tried to go for it again. Chavez pops short. Rebound. Back out to Chavez for 3. Oh, strong. Rebound, Mora! She's got 4 in this overtime period, and we got a 2-possession lead again. Both teams with 2 timeouts to go.
I think Kelly Mora got my message that they had to find a way to get the ball in her hands, and she has to execute. Like I said, 5 points against the Amarillo Sandies last game.
Great pass down low. That was Lacey Rice with her 5th point in this overtime.
But 5 points against Amarillo High in the last game, and she has come alive in this game.
Here's Ambrosia Cole, 1-on-1. The floater, that's her signature, and it wasn't good. Back in transition, Amarillo's gonna get an easy layup. That's good. Mackenzie Smith, she has been a rock star tonight.
And we have another tie ball game.
You like roller coasters? Because that's what we're on tonight.
I was about to say, I haven't been on one in a while.
Mora, deep 2, strong. Rebound was almost with the Lady Plainsmen, but they got her cornered. Ambrosia Cole tips it away and stolen by Lamone. Pumps, shoots. Bang! Kevin Lamone puts it in. That's a great move by a senior. Her points have been in the biggest moments of tonight.
I couldn't agree more.
You need to tip your cap too to Madeline Campos. She's down there working. Smith, 3. Bang! Good. Smith is unbelievable.
And what a night she's had.
Tremendous. 20, 23, 6. She's at 30 points. Mackenzie Smith, a 30-burger tonight for Amarillo High.
And beating her totals from last game. Or actually,
wow, 70 to 69. What do you got there, Carson?
Last match from their last meeting, she had 20.
She's been a problem tonight for Monterey, that's for sure.
That's true. And she beats her last game total, too. She had 28 in that one.
What a performance by Mackenzie Smith. 30 points to lead her team in scoring. When I'm looking at my stat sheet here, it's been pretty consistent too. She hasn't been hot and not hot. She's been consistently scoring throughout this game.
And that's one thing that, just as an athlete in general, that's what you look for. You want to be consistent.
See the fans, the energy level is still high here in Littlefield. Monterey is the first to get back out on the court, and here comes the Lady Sandies. The sandstorm has put on a storm here tonight with their consistency of making deep shots as well as getting it into the paint and finishing near the cup. There's Lamone getting it to Chavez. Minute 28 to go. The Lady Plainsmen down by 1 here in the 4th overtime. Chavez going to her right hand. Floating it near the cap. Bang! That's good for 2. Chavez scores for the first time since the first overtime. 71-70 now. Lady Plainsmen on top. And we're about to be under a minute here, Carson. There's been a big-time playmaker there for Coach Williams. That's who I'd keep feeding right now. She's been the hot hand. Too strong, battling for the board, and there's going to be a foul on the floor. It's going to go against Kelly Mora.
And the fans are not happy about that. And Kelly Mora's on her 4th foul.
I'm not sure if this is a 1-and-1 or not.
They're holding up their 2s.
That is Mora's 4th foul. Chavez with 4 fouls. Morrison fouled out already. Kelly Mora with 4 fouls. Here we go, this is a big one. Nails it.
Did you see the amount of arc on that shot?
That was a high shot right there by Rice.
But these are the 2 free throws that you have to be the most comfortable with.
Backboard, no good. We're knotted at 71.
50 seconds left. 71-71.
Here's Ambrosia Cole getting it to Chavez. Let's let her go to work. Let the best point guard in the country for the class of 2022 do her thing. She's going to go to the charity stripe. Fouled on the play. That is Jada Graves.
And that's what she's so good at doing. She's so good at creating fouls and creating charity stripe opportunities for herself.
Chavez at 15 points so far. Not a normal night for number 2, but this is a big opportunity. Gets the first. Make it 16. They call them free throws for a reason. She needs to knock them down. Take the 3 points. Here she is. Two for 2. All right, 73-71, 37 seconds left. I would not be surprised if we have there's a 3. Strong, rebound Mora. Quick transition is Ambrosia Cole. She's gonna slow it down, lose the ball, but gather it back up again. Ambrosia Cole's coming away with it. 20 seconds to go. If you're Amarillo High, you gotta foul.
You have to.
You have to foul. Coach is telling them to foul, it looks like. Chavez dancing around with the ball. 10 seconds. Cole with it. They got a foul. And there it is.
With 5 seconds left.
Wow. They should have fouled earlier.
They should have.
Ambrosia Cole is going to go to the line now. Trying to count how many points she's got. 17, 18. She's currently got 18. Ambrosia Cole with an opportunity here to get 19 and 20 if she's able to capitalize. Oh, and the front iron of it. She's got to knock this one down. She's got to knock this one down because as you saw moments ago, as we went into the 3rd overtime, Amarillo High can sink the 3 ball.
They can.
Here's Cole. Makes it.
She got it.
Timeout on the floor. 5.6 seconds to go. Carson, we thought it was done 2 overtimes ago. We thought it was done 3 overtimes ago. But Coach Williams and his team continues to find the answers to everything Monterey's thrown at him right at the end of each overtime period.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. He's found a way. He's dialed up the perfect play for them to get the shots that they need to get, for them to execute at the very last second.
Absolutely. Once again, I can't stop talking about our program enough. This game is being presented by Lubbock ISD TV. We got Gary Regner on a camera, Sam Kunkel. Got everybody and all these different students on these cameras. Got Hannah up here up top. We have so many great students here working tonight, and without our student support, we'd not be able to do this game.
I couldn't agree more. But it starts with y'all. It starts with the organization. I cannot thank y'all enough for what y'all do for us and the opportunities that y'all have given us. I can't thank Lubbock ISD TV enough.
And you got to thank our school board for these opportunities. Without their support, we wouldn't be here. Got to give another shout out to our truck, Abigail Garcia, right? Caleb Galbraith in there, Emma Feist. Got great students here working tonight, and they put on a tremendous show for our audience. Chavez telling Ambrosia Cole to back up a little bit, but they got to force some pressure here to where they have to take some time off of the clock. 4 seconds to go. This is for the game, for the regional semifinals. The shot by Smith. Oh my God! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Mackenzie Smith for 3. And we're going to, if you can believe it or not, a 5th overtime here in Littlefield.
And she had 8 points in that overtime.
This is getting insane. Oh my goodness. The standing room has got even more packed because there was supposed to be another game right after this. This is just unreal. I'm at a loss for words.
I am too. I don't know what to say.
Wow. Whatever team wins this tonight, they've earned every bit of it.
Of course. I couldn't agree more.
We're heading to a 5th overtime here at the Wildcat Gym in Littlefield, Texas. The referees are smiling. Everybody in here is kind of looking around like they've never seen anything like this before, and I have not.
I was about to say, I haven't either.
I've covered a lot of games. I've covered a lot of big-time college basketball games and high school games. Never once have I seen 5 overtimes. And again, and again, foul trouble might be something that we need to worry about for both of these teams as we continue this game.
But the good thing is we know that both teams have depth. They've shown that. We've had injuries, we've had foul outs, but they've been able to replace them.
So you play 8-minute quarters. So 8 times 4, 32. You play 5 4-minute overtimes. These players have been playing for a long time.
They have.
Monterey doesn't come up with that one. Amarillo wins it. They must have heard me from that last time. All right, Ambrosia Cole going out there and playing defense. Smith, the hot hand for Amarillo High with the ball. Girls high school basketball doesn't get much better than this, and it's so sad that these two teams had to meet in the regional quarterfinals because this very well could have been the state championship.
And I think we see that even in the NFL, that we see the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl. And this feels like that right now.
We are watching the Super Bowl, according to Carson, here in Littlefield. Here's Smith with Kelly Moore in front of her. And great defense here. Lamone's gonna get called for the foul. Mackenzie Smith made a great slashing cut to get next to the basket, and she's gonna go to the line to shoot 2. Mackenzie Smith is just a phenomenal player tonight. Neither one of these teams want their season to be over.
No, that's exactly right. And if I'm not mistaken, she hasn't had any foul trouble thus far.
Right. If you're gonna foul, if you're Monterey, it needs to either be Compost or Lamone. Those two have seen as many minutes and not as fouled as many times. That's good. She continues to add to her total. I believe she's now at 34. There's Ambrosia Cole, one-on-one. Great cross, trying to go step back. Ramon drives, dishes it down low to Mora.
What a pass!
Great pass to Kelly Mora. She finishes strong. I'm running out of pages on my sheet here to keep up with the stats.
Me too.
Drive to the cup. Lamone there in front of the Lady Sandy. Oh, are you kidding me?
What a move!
Ambrosia Cole. She's gonna go to the line for the and 1. Ambrosia Cole. Look at this. Oh, that's nasty. And she's gonna finish and go to the charity stripe.
And she did it twice.
What a move. Ambrosia Cole here. You know, if you're on the news tonight, what highlights are you gonna show? Because there's about 50 of them that are worth putting on the news tonight. That that 1-and-1, or excuse me, the and 1 was no good there for Cole. 78-75, deep 3, that's an NBA 3. No good, it's gonna go out of bounds and stay with the Lady Plainsmen.
Wow.
If you're Coach Williams, you like that shot by Tatum Bell? I felt like it was a little fast.
I think it was a little fast. I think you could have taken a much higher percentage shot, but she had the look. I think if she would have taken one more step closer, it was in.
Lamone out there on an island, driving, feeding it to Mora, that's her shot.
Bang!
Kelly Mora with 4. 2 minutes to go, 80-75. Lady Plainsmen on top. We've seen this before though. If you're Monterey, you need to lock down. Amarillo has made their adjustments and can score at anything. Coach Williams though saw his player in the corner and calls timeout.
But you have to. If you're Monterey, you have to keep scoring offensively because they have proven in the past 4 overtimes that you can play great defense, but they're still going to find a way to get the ball in the basket. You got to keep the pressure on. You got to keep scoring baskets if you're Monterey. You have a 5-point lead, which is great, but you got to keep growing it, even though you think this is a comfortable lead at this stage in the game.
Oh, it is not a comfortable lead. I can tell you that. We have seen too many last-second three-pointers by Amarillo High to make anything feel like it's comfortable.
Right.
Only time that you'll have a comfortable lead is when you have the lead and it says 0 on the shot clock.
Yeah.
That's the only time you'll feel comfortable. What a tremendous game. We are down to the last minute of not overtime 1, 2, 3, or 4, but 5. Tremendous.
I can't believe I was saying that.
Me either. I'm looking at some of the people here in the stadium. Got some big-time people here. Saw Coach Krista Gerlich here watching her recruit. This is awesome. There you go. I see our camera crew hyping up the team. He needs to get off the court, though. That's the truth.
You love to see that from Mr. Kunkel.
You do. 1:59 to go here in overtime. And we're back underway. Let's see what the sandstorm drew up here. They've been a problem all night in these crunch times for Monterey. They seem to find a basket, and it's usually from her, but missed this time. Mora with the board. Chavez slowing it down, getting it to Ambrosia Cole. Man, her ball handling skills are elite. Getting it over to Chavez, another player with elite ball handling skills. You see it there. The behind the back. Mora calling for the ball down low in the paint. I don't think Chavez sees her. Here's Cole.
I wouldn't see her either if I was too focused doing some ball handling moves like that.
Absolutely. We're getting down to the time where Amarillo High might need to consider fouling, but you don't want to foul number 2. All right. Looking to dribble it out, Chavez.
Bang!
That's good. Aaliyah Chavez. 82-75, 7-point lead for Coach Schneider and the Lady Plainsmen, the #1 team in the state, the 23rd ranked team nationally. Driving, and 1. Wow, Jayden Graves driving to the cup, and she'll go to the line for this and 1 opportunity. That's a confident young lady right there.
Yes, it is.
And the big moment, calling her number, going one-on-one with Ambrosia Cole.
And Ambrosia Cole with her 3rd foul on the evening.
The free throw, good. It's now a 3-point game, or excuse me, a 5-point game. No, a 4-point game, I apologize. Math, I'm not a math major. 46 seconds to go. And I'm just mentally preparing myself for a last-second bank shot. But here's Ambrosia Cole going to the line.
Me too.
This is a big one. Ooh, rattles off to the left. You see the 2 seniors down there, Limon and Campos, telling her it's okay.
When you need the reassurance in these last moments, because you're a freshman shooting in the biggest moment of your life.
Absolutely.
And you need that reassurance from your veterans on your team to know that it's going to be all right.
5-point lead now for Monterey after that second free throw that was made. Stolen away. It is Chavez, coast to coast with the left hand. Bang! Fans are jumping up and down. The excitement's in the air. 7-point lead for Monterey. 27 seconds to go. Driving to the paint. Too strong. And I think that's it. Monterey is going to escape. They're trying to foul here as Chavez is running in circles. Wow. This is a 3-possession game. Chavez about to go to the line. A tremendous steal and a tremendous finish by the sophomore.
Doesn't get much better than that.
All right, here's Chavez. Yep. There it is, an 8-point lead now, 17 seconds to go. This game has been tremendous. If you're tuning in, this was a great start to the Lubbock ISD YouTube channel, that's for sure. They got to shoot it quick if they want to have a chance. They can't waste any time, and they are. 15-footer, too strong. Rebound, Smith. And it's going to be the Monterey that comes up with it. And that's it. The regional semifinals. Here comes Monterey. It's time to celebrate. If you're a Lady Plainsman, you earned every bit of this victory tonight. The Lady Sandies gave you everything you had. Tip your cap to them, but celebration is on for Monterey.
Mr. Ward, what are your thoughts on the game?
I want to embrace this moment. It took 5 overtimes to get here, and this is a great moment for Monterey. Once again, Monterey advances to the regional semifinals for Region 1, defeating Amarillo High 86-78. That was an awesome performance by both teams. Tip your cap to the Lady Sandies because they put on a show.
Well, and you love the grit by both teams. You had to get to overtime. You had to get to second overtime. Heck, you had to get all the way to 5th overtime. We knew one of the teams were going to get more fatigued. This time it was Amarillo Sandies.
Right. You see the teams hugging. What's next for Monterey? Well, once again, they're going to the regional semifinals. If they get to the Regional 1 finals, they have a chance of playing another team they played all year. I want to see this trophy presentation. Let's see it. There it is. A tremendous moment. And I feel so awesome for the seniors on this team. What they've been through to get to this point. The journey that Kelly Mora and Heaven Lamone and Campos and all the other seniors for Monterey, what they've been through to get here has been tremendous.
I couldn't agree more. Their leadership has been unmatched throughout the entire season.
Right. That's what every team plays for, and Monterey earned it in 5 overtimes. Great job tonight, Kay Ward. Great job to our crew filming all the game. We appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, and we'll end it right here with the Monterey Lady Plainsmen, the champions in the regional semi. They're headed to the regional semifinal round. Have a good night, everybody. Stay happy, stay healthy. Beat 'em red, beat 'em blue. Monterey wins.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.